Namaskar to everybody. Distinguished guests, speakers, business leaders, financial community of Nepal, friends from media, all organizers, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you all in this annual event of New Business-ish. My name is Sugarika and I am the MC for this evening, this afternoon. We gathered here today for the 9th annual event of New Business-ish. Let's take a moment to recognize all our partners. Asian Paints, Curve EV, Global IME Bank, Asian Life Insurance, NIMBA's Capital, Rashtriya Banijya Bank, Deposit and Credit Guarantee Fund, Assurance Incorporation, Green Valley Resort, Shivapuri, NLG Insurance, PhonePe, Nepal Airlines, King's College, Subisu, Jaulakhel Group of Industries, Godavari Steels, Vogue Events, and Space 4K TV. Now let's focus on today's theme, which is driving growth through reforms. It's a pertinent topic that gives the economic challenges we face every day. Today, we'll explore how Nepal's business have weathered recent crisis and identify opportunities for the growth. We thank you for being the part of this national event hosted by New Business-ish Limited, Nepal's premier business media organization. Before we begin, let's stand and honor our national anthem.
सार्वभौम फैलिएका मेची महाकाली सायो थुङ्गा फुलका हामी एउटै माला नेपाली सार्वभौम फैलिएका मेची महाकाली प्रकृतिका कोटि कोटि सम्पदाको आचला वीरहरूका राजधानी स्वतन्त्र र अचल ज्ञान भूमि शान्ति भूमि तराई पहाड हिमाल अखण्ड यो प्यारो हाम्रो मातृभूमि नेपाल बहु जाति भाषा धर्म संस्कृति छ विशाल अग्रगामी राष्ट्र हाम्रो जय जय नेपाल.
Thank you very much. Before we officially inaugurate today's event, may I request the chairman of New Business-ish, Mr. Madan Lamsal, to welcome our chief guest with the bouquet. Can we have the bouquet on stage, please? And our chief guest for this event this evening is Honorable Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies, Honorable Damodar Bhandari. Thank you very much for your time and effort, Honorable Minister. Similarly, our special guest for this evening is Honorable Professor Dr. Shivaraj Adhikari, Vice Chair of National Planning Commission. Thank you very much one more time to Honorable Professor for managing time for the very special event. Now let's officially inaugurate this event. I would like to request and invite Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies, Mr. Damodar Bhandari, Government of Nepal, to enlighten this ceremonial lamp along with Mr. Madan Lamsal, Chairman of New Business-ish, and Mr. Aviman Bararia, General Manager of Asian Paints, Nepal. I also would like to request a special guest to join while the ceremonial event is being done on the very stage. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for inaugurating the very important annual event. Now, let's have a watch at the glimpse of previous year's conclave on the screen, please.
we have increased our advertising budget in the last 2.5 years by 270%, right? Our impression in digital media for 2023 was 357 lakhs in digital media, right? So we continue to communicate with the consumers, and hence for all of the friends sitting over here, one of the way in this difficult time is to find out ways to communicate to your consumers. What did Gopal say? He said that there is money, but people are not spending. So if there is money and people are not spending, then entice them to spend. Communicate with them. Tell them your product, and then they will definitely spend.
In the past 15 years, internet penetration in Nepal has increased from a mere 9% to 90% today. That's a staggering growth. Fixed broadband, I come from a fixed broadband from the ISP sector. We have managed to connect around 3 million homes.
The government works towards demand creation, policy stability, and not go against the principles of simple economics.
NewBiz Conclave has traveled quite a journey, which we just watched on the screen through this particular video. Up next is another video which actually talks about the NewBiz Awards TVC. Can we please?
Asian Paints presents 9th NewBiz Conclave and Business Excellence Awards 2025. Theme: Driving Growth Through Reforms. Awards in 10 different categories. Driven by Curve EV, Life Insurance Partner, Asian Life Insurance Company Limited, Private Equity Partner, NIMB Ace Capital Limited, Banking Partner, Global IME Bank Limited, supported by NLG Insurance Company Limited, Green Valley Resort, Shubhapuri, Rashtriya Banijya Bank Limited, Assurance Incorporation Management Service Private Limited, PhonePe Payment Service Limited, Deposit and Credit Guarantee Fund, Nepal Airlines Corporation, King's College, Architecting Future,
Godavari Steels,
Internet Partner, Subisu, event managed by Vogue Ad and Event Management.
As the entire NBA family joins in welcoming you with New Business Ish monthly magazine and Arthik Avyan National Business Daily, two dynamic portals, www.avyandaily.com and www.newbusinessish.com and New Business Ish. Let me invite Mr. Madan Lamsal, the man behind New Business Ish, as he sets the tone for the day.
Distinguished guests, friends from across the country and abroad, both here and joining us online via YouTube and Facebook Live, I extend a warm greeting to you all. Namaste. It's a great pleasure to welcome you to the 9th NewBiz Conclave and Business Excellence Awards 2025, a platform dedicated to celebrating leadership, innovation, and excellence in Nepal's business ecosystem since 2013. We are deeply honored to have you today with us, Honorable Minister Damodar Bhandari, Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies. Welcome you, sir. And Professor Dr. Sivaraj Adhikari, Vice Chairman of National Planning Commission, as our chief guest and special guest. Thank you for gracing the occasion. A warm welcome to everyone from government, academia, business, and the financial sector, your presence adds immense value. After a powerful panel discussion on this year's theme, we'll recognize outstanding performers from banking, insurance, IT, and healthcare, and for the first time, a leading public enterprise. Our heartfelt thanks to the jury and the panel speakers, made up of the respected leaders and experts, for their thoughtful and independent selections. Your commitment is truly appreciated. We are equally grateful to our partners and sponsors, especially Asian Paints, our title sponsor, and all the supporting organizations. While we receive their generous support, we assure you our evaluation process is entirely fair and independent. To the 9 organizations and 1 inspiring individual being honored today, congratulations in advance. There are many others equally deserving, and we hope to recognize them in the years to come. Thank you to everyone who made this possible, our speakers, guests, jury, partners, and the incredible NewBiz team working behind the scenes. You are all very special to you today. We hope to see you again in 2026 with bigger and bigger ideas and bolder dreams. Let's begin today's deliberation and celebration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramsal, for setting the tone for the rest of the day. Up next is another video, which might be about 4 to 5 minutes long. The video will talk about Nepal's economic reforms from liberalization to transformation, 1991 to 2025. Let's have a look.
From liberalization to transformation. Nepal's economy reform journey, 1991, 2025 and beyond. In 1990, Nepal turned a historic pace. Democracy was restored, and with it came a bold new vision, an open economy driven by reform, opportunity, and change. The reform years, the 1990s, marked Nepal's most sweeping economy reform era. 1991-1993, trade and investment liberalized, currency made convertible, state enterprises privatized, banking, aviation, telecom open to private sector. Institutions were born. Nepal Stock Exchange, NEPSE, Securities Board of Nepal, Insurance Board, Nepal Telecommunications Authority. By 1999, GSM mobile services were introduced, opening Nepal to the digital age. Infrastructure and social progress. Reform brought real improvements in people's lives. Electricity access from 14% to 99%. Road length from 9,000 kilometers to over 110,000 kilometers. International airports, 1 to 3. Literacy rate, up to 77.4%. Life expectancy, 54 to 71 years. Infant mortality, dropped from 102 to 21 per 1,000 births. Telecom users, from 57,000 landlines to 29 million mobiles. In the fiscal year 1991-92, Nepal's GDP stood at rupees just 1.49 billion. Today, it exceeds rupees 6.1 trillion. Per capita income, up from $182 to nearly $1,500. The Human Development Index, from a low 0.158 to 0.622. a leap in life expectancy, literacy, and health. Government revenue 100 times increased. Remittances from rupees 2.3 billion to rupees 1,445 billion. Foreign reserves from 459 million to 18 billion plus. Setbacks and structural gaps. But reforms did not solve everything. Some promises remained unfulfilled. Manufacturing share of GDP still under 5%, same as 1991. Exports largely stagnant. Public projects plugged by delays. Governance burdened by red tape, both offline and online. Reforms gives us the tools. Execution held us back. After the enthusiasm of nearly 1990s, Big Bang reforms took a backseat by the late 1990s. However, Nepal quietly continued with a series of reform measures, particularly in taxation, social security, digital transactions, and alternative financing. Fiscal Responsibility Act, Treasury's single account, e-bidding and digitized procurement, modern income tax and VAT systems, banking regulation unified under BAFIA, legal frameworks from venture capital, private equity, and electronic trading, social security for workers, audit and judiciary digitization. These led a deeper foundation, quietly but significantly. Looking ahead, 2025 and beyond, Nepal's reform journey began with hope, and it has delivered meaningful progress. But the next phase demands deeper commitment and stronger execution. The current Nepali Congress UML government has signaled its seriousness through a series of bold steps. The 2025 Ordinance to Reform Investment and Business Laws, the formation of the Rameswar Khanal-led High-Level Economic Reform Advisory Commission, and the incorporation of its recommendations into a federal budget of 2025 and 26. To move forward, Nepal must focus on better governance, efficient project execution, a shift toward production, innovation, and exports. From policy to practice, from vision to value, Nepal's transformation is still unfolding. The promise is real. The path ahead must be paved with resolve and reform. Nepal, connected, literally and digitally.
We have explored how far Nepal has come from opening its economy in the early 90s to embracing innovation, investment, and infrastructure in the recent years. This transformation is a story not just of policy shift, but of resilience, vision, and the collective effort of the Nepali people. Now, let's get some more insights from our keynote speaker today, Mr. Rameswar Khanal, Chair of High-Level Economic Reforms Recommendation Commission and former Secretary of Government of Nepal. Let's welcome Mr. Khanal, our keynote speaker for the day.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Honorable Minister for Industries, Commerce and Supplies, and the chief guest of today's function, Honorable Member of Parliament, Honorable Vice Chairperson of National Planning Commission, former member of National Planning Commission, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor for me to speak to this distinguished gathering today, and I thank New Business Age and Abhiyan team for giving me this opportunity. In this 9th episode of NewBiz Conclave, in addition to recognizing 10 individuals for excellence in different sectors of business. New Business Age Group has picked up the theme of economic reforms for accelerated economic growth. This is the theme that private sector has been talking about for the last 2 years, and the government also embarked on reforms through ordinances. Some of them are held back in Parliament, some are already executed, some are held back due to lack of procedures. For over 2 years now, business community in Nepal was asking government for major, deep economic reforms. This was because of the lingering economic slowdown and the loss of general confidence in the economy following the quick recovery. In fact, we recovered very quickly post-COVID, but that quick recovery could not sustain, and we faced several setbacks. Each time we made several missteps, and there were policy inconsistencies. As a result of this, the private sector thought that Nepal needs deeper economic reforms so that the pace of economic growth can pick up to the expectation of general Nepali people. Because of this, and also because of the frustration currently seen among Nepali citizens, the government also felt that there is, in fact, a need for major economic reforms of the kind of the 1990s reforms, which was narrated through the documentary presented just now. The budget of the last fiscal year announced that a high-level economic reforms commission will be constituted. I think around 2 months after the presentation of the budget, the then government collapsed. A new government was formed, but the new government also carried on with the agenda of economic reforms, and within 100 days, there was a promise by Finance Minister that high-level economic reforms commission will be constituted. It was constituted. Now, the context for reforms was briefly highlighted in the presentation just now. The major economic reform that Nepal took was, in fact, in the early 1990s, after the enactment of multi-party democratic constitution. But those reforms were generally based on the globally accepted norms at that time. That was the time when the economic liberalization was the major thing around the world. That was not really homegrown, but we definitely achieved substantial things. The reform produced good results everywhere: banking, insurance, mass media, aviation, manufacturing, exports, agriculture, public finance, social sector. Almost every sector had a major change because of the impact of the reforms. There were critics of that reforms. However, I find that as voice for second generation reforms became stronger, even the critics of that first generation reforms started referring those reforms as a path-breaking reforms. The minister who proposed the formation of the High-Level Economic Reforms Commission was a die-hard critic of the first generation reforms, particularly relating to privatization. Strangely, with experience and also with evidence, I find that the same minister now talks that the economy can move smoothly only when the private sector is the in charge, not the government. He has been openly speaking that government should not engage directly in running the commercial businesses. The views are changing. So in that context, major, deeper, and if loosely explained, second generation reforms, although these are not really second generation reforms, reforms in fact continued even during the last 20 years. Although the major path-breaking reforms happened in the early 1990s, but there have been reforms all along in public finance. public expenditure management, taxation policy, public debt management were drastically changed compared to the period of the early 1990s and also 2000. The sincere reforms in taxation happened beginning 2000. The new Income Tax Act was promulgated, totally based on the self-assessment, eliminating the discretionary power of the tax officers. There was a reform in the public expenditure management. MTEP was introduced. Community engagement in development activities was introduced during the time of conflict. That's how government intervention could succeed in the rural areas, even when the government agencies were not able to go in. There was a major reform in the public debt management beginning 2 years ago. The task of handling the domestic debt was handed over to newly created office, Public Debt Management Office, by separating it from Nepal Rashtra Bank so that the monetary policy can be independent. There have also been reforms in the capital market, in financial sector, in telecommunications, in hydropower development. Lots of reforms have happened since 2000. But the impact of those reforms are not really visible in the eyes of public. That's why everyone talks about the first generation reforms. It is in this context that the high-level Economic Reforms Commission was constituted. We are assigned to carry out the task of preparing the proposal for new reforms, deeper structural reforms. Although it was constituted at a time when economy was facing some problem, so we had to examine the current problem, recommend the solutions for those problems. So we found out that the aggregate demand was suffering, so there are demand-side problems. But to accelerate the economic growth, we had to look into the supply-side structural problems. So we examined both sides. When we started the work, it was not only the body of experts, it also had the private sector involvement at the highest level. All 3 presidents of apex level private sector entities were involved. So it was a consultative process. We started with certain mind frame, and that frame was that unlike the reforms proposed in 1990s, we'll make these reforms entirely homegrown. So we said that we'll neither accept any direct assistance from foreign agencies, development partners, experts. We'll seek advice from domestic experts, from the stakeholders. We'll travel rural areas, talk to the provincial and local government people, and then propose reforms that can be acceptable and can also be at the same time implementable. The second fundamental premise that we began with is that no economic reforms, best of the best policies don't work if the governance is weak. So without addressing the root cause of corruption and the problem of governance, recommendations for creating new institutions, announcing new policies, making new laws will not work. They will only favor certain category of people, cartels, syndicates. In order for the legal regime, policy regime, giving opportunity to all Nepalis equally, they will favor certain people only. So addressing the root cause of corruption, not addressing the corruption, I am saying addressing the root cause of corruption is the most important, single most important thing. So we began with where the root cause is. It is the political financing. The way political parties and election campaigns are financed, they are the major source of all the evils in the governance. So we recommended certain things on that. And similarly, to strengthen governance and the project execution, particularly even today, most of the online medias are reporting about the condition of a road between Butol and Narangad, the lifeline for Kathmandu, and lifeline for many of the manufacturing entities along the Tarai corridor, has not been operational for almost 12 days. Trucks are lining up. So what is that? The ability of the government agencies to complete project in time. That's where we need to have governance reforms. So that was the second premise. Third is the proper legal environment is necessary. So we examined almost 308 different existing laws to find the inconsistencies, to anomalies, the control orientation of the law. Not the facilitation, but the control orientation. So examining those laws, we found out that almost 24 laws are redundant, unnecessary. They create only hassles. Over a dozen laws need amendments. And if we really want to have a good investment-friendly country, where the companies like Asiata or companies like Asian Paints would love to have their headquarters, we need to have laws which can be compared as world-class. So we proposed certain laws to ease doing business, to enable quick entry, and to also enable quick exit. Next, we examined the constraints in all growth sectors. Unless we examine the constraints in the growth sectors and then recommend measures to alleviate them, other theoretical reforms will not work. So practical reforms which can ease generating opportunities, generating businesses, generating growth and employment from these growth sectors. And those are agriculture, forestry, mining, hydro, tourism, ICT, social services. And in each of those sectors, we identified opportunities, we examined constraints, and recommended suggestions. You know, I mean, it's an irony, very irony, that deadly, devastating wars are conducted without EIA. And in Nepal, the most important growth opportunity is in forestry, in mining, in hydropower. And we have plethora of rules requiring an entrepreneur, investor, to go through rounds and rounds of EIA. You conduct EIA once for the entire minefield, and then when you want to extract in the additional area within the given approved area, you need another EIA. The guys from cement industry told me that I need to go to 37 different places to get the factory up and running. I get old. How can I start a business in Nepal? So we need to remove them. We need to be pragmatic. We have to, of course, take care of our ecosystem, the environment. They are important. We should not ignore them. But at the same time, growth always comes from the natural resources or human capital. We are losing human capital. We are not using natural resources. So we'll have to look into those. So we examined them. Public finance, monetary management, financial sector, alternative financial institutions, these create enabling environment. So we also examined those sectors and examined the shortcomings, constraint in those sectors and proposed recommendations. Fortunately, this time, contrary to many of the comments that I received when I started the work, that you are another commission whose report would be shelved somewhere in Singhadarbar and nobody will ever read. If anyone will read, they'll be reading for the preparation of public service examinations. Contrary to that belief, the government within 7 days created a 3-member secretariat-level task force to prepare an action plan based on the report we gave. Very encouraging. And that task force took almost 4 weeks, less than 4 weeks, to prepare an action plan, listing down more recommendations than we had proposed. We had proposed around 378. The government came up with a reform tax action plan with 408 elements. Unfortunately, the reform proposed for political financing campaign financing, and some of the governance reforms were ignored. No problem. But most of the reforms proposed in other sectors have been fully endorsed by the government. And it is also encouraging to note that when I vetted the budget speech and the appropriation bill, the allocation that the government makes, nearly 3 dozen recommendations have already been implemented. So there is a hope that the government is sincere in implementing reforms. And if these reforms, along with, because these reforms are not finite, there are other things that we were not able to examine because there was time constraint. We were given only 6 months. And within that time, it was very difficult to examine everything in detail. So whatever we did was within the given time frame. So there are other issues where the government needs to address, but the orientation and approach of the government formed by the coalition of 2 largest parties of Nepal, the hope for stronger reforms in the future is there. So with this remarks, I'd like to thank the new business team and Madan Lamsalji for giving me this opportunity. The distinguished panelists will definitely shed light on other issues relating to the implementation of reforms and also the additional reforms. Thank you very much. So I am being loved as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rameshwar Khanal, for the insightful and thought-provoking, remarkable keynote remarks. Thank you for your time, vision, and continued contribution to shaping Nepal's economic discourse. Now, to give away a thank you token, may I invite Mr. Keshav Gautam, Director of New Business East, on stage. He will present token of appreciation to a wonderful keynote speaker on stage. Thank you very much, Rameshwar Khanal, sir. One more time, as Chair of High-Level Economic Reforms Recommendation Commission and former Secretary of Government of Nepal, for the wonderful keynote remarks. Thank you to Mr. Gautam, Director of New Business Ease, who just presented token of appreciation to our keynote speaker. Now we're moving to our most anticipated session, which happens to be the panel discussion. And this session will bring experts who will share their insights, their experiences, and perspective on today's theme. And the theme happens to be driving growth through reforms. So may I take this opportunity and pleasure in inviting a panelist on the stage for the panel discussion. Our very first panelist is none other than a very loved political and a youth figure of our country, the General Secretary of Nepali Congress and the Member of Parliament Nepal, Honorable Gagan Thapa, a prominent Nepali political leader and youth icon, celebrated for his progressive vision and leadership as the General Secretary of Nepali Congress and the Member of House of Representatives. He has championed public health, education, governance reform, and youth empowerment. When he was the Minister of Health and Population, Mr. Thapa introduced reforms to enhance transparency, expand healthcare access, and strengthen institutions. Let's welcome our first panelist, Honorable Gagan Thapa, on stage, please. Thank you very much, Ms. Thapa, for joining. Our second panelist for the session is Ms. Moushami Shrestha, Executive Director of Srinagar Agro Group. Ms. Shrestha, the Honorary Consul General of Sweden in Nepal and Executive Director of the Srinagar Agro Group. Founder of Sri Kisan Innovation Private Limited, she created the one-stop solution model offering farmers inputs, technical support, finance, insurance, and market access. A member of EO and FNCCI, she advocates food security through the Protein for All movement. Ms. Moushami Shrestha, our second panelist, everybody. Now let's welcome our third panelist, Mr. Bal Krishna Joshi, tech entrepreneur and founder of Leapfrog Technology, Magnet Tech, and Juno.com. Mr. Joshi, a pioneer Nepali-American tech entrepreneur, bridging Nepal and the USA. A Lewis and Clark College graduate, he founded Thumbnail.com, Nepal's first e-commerce platform, and ventures including Leapfrog Technologies, Magnet Technologies, Thumbnail Remit, Juno, and Acceleron Bank. Collectively, his companies generate over $20 million in annual revenue and employ more than 500 engineers, fueling Nepal's emerging tech ecosystem. Since 2001, he has successfully scaled firms locally and globally. Let's welcome Mr. Bal Krishna Joshi, our third panelist of the session. Thank you very much, sir, for joining as a panelist for the panel discussion. Our fourth panelist, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jabor Kayumov, Chief Executive Officer of Ncell. Mr. Kayumov has led Ncell Asiata Limited as CEO and Managing Director, a Tajikistan native with nearly 2 decades of experience steering operators across Central Asia and the Caribbean, including Digicel. He holds a master's in economics from Gujarat State University. He champions digital transformation, operational efficiency, and customer-centric strategies at Ncell. Mr. Jabor Kayumov, CEO of Ncell. Now let me welcome our session moderator, everybody. Mr. Semanta Dahal, advocate and partner at Avinav Law Chambers. Mr. Dahal, a partner at Avinav Law Chambers, advising diverse national and international clients on corporate and commercial law, including foreign investment, infrastructure development, banking and finance, energy, and public-private partnership. His strategic counsel and analytical rigor have shaped Nepal's evolving business law framework. Thank you all for joining, and Mr. Dahal, over to you now.
Thank you, Sugarikaji. Warm afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think Rameswar sir has, in his initial keynote speech, has already set the context for our discussion today. Primarily, he mentioned the need and the imperative behind deeper structural reforms. And in that regard, he highlighted our 90s journey, which he said was embraced because it was happening globally, that we opened up and embraced liberalization. He also mentioned about the gradual reforms we undertook in the 2000s, which the main benefit of those reforms were probably not felt by the larger community. And after that, he talked about the need for reforms in 4 or 5 major areas, where he mentioned about the need for homegrown reforms, which is accepted and large ownership is taken on that. He then mentioned about addressing the root cause of corruption, contract management, the third one he mentioned, and improvement in public procurement. The fourth he mentioned about was legal anomalies and addressing that. That has already provided some context for the discussion that we'll be having today. And for the session that we have, driving growth through reforms, I am the driver of this session. Welcome to my panelists. We have an outstanding set of panelists today from diverse background and deep experience. And I'm confident that their views and expressions will enrich the discussion today. Without further delay, let me directly dive into the discussions because There's a time card that I need to comply. I think we have an hour or 15 minutes, including the discussion that we'll have with the audience. So we'll start without any further delay. And I will firstly, I think, go to our brand, Nepal IT, Mr. Bala Krishna Joshi. Bala sir, I think you, for an average person like me, whose imagination for IT is very limited. For me, the way I see information technology is all about few computer geeks sitting together and delivering software or packaging some software or storing or managing data. But for you, Balaji, your imagination is limitless. Not only for Nepal, you have a broad vision for around the world where you where you want to use internet as a foundation to erase boundaries, connect people, and have transactions flow through that. So this imagination that you have and the regulations we have in Nepal, when you compare that to, do you think your visions have been blocked by our regulations?
Thank you, Samanthaji. So let me just kind of get to the point. Absolutely, right? I think the thing is, I think the fun of being entrepreneur is definitely because of the regulations. So what you want to do is, I think for me, in my personal journey of, I think what I've actually done is, I've probably done one thing. I've been in the business of moving money across borders for almost now over 20 years. And I think to kind of go back with how you started, right? So in fact, I think the wrong conception is, I think we're focused more on the codes and the technology versus what is the society that is going to be evolved on top of it. So, mere case, actually, I'm a graduate of sociology anthropology, so I'm actually a social scientist by training, right? So, and I think, so what really happened was when I was sent off to school abroad, and then I saw the emergence of kind of like basically how the society was going to evolve. So we had the whole emergence of technology. I was also part of it, right? So one of the first thing I really, the way I got into money transfer business was literally, after you problem solve, then as all of you know that it's a highly, highly regulated business, right? So I think as an entrepreneur, you're always seeing everything completely in opposite direction. So I wanted to see an opposite direction, especially in a money transfer business, right? So if you look at the money transfer business, it's almost been there for almost 150 years. The 150 years ago, business how I got into this business is, there's such a huge barrier to entry because of the regulations, especially the capex of it. Like America, if you want to provide a money transfer business, you actually need to have somewhere around $5 million to be licensed in all of the US states. You need to have almost $25 million to be able to have a net worth of $25 million to be qualified. So my first venture in the US was something called the remittance as a service. So what that means is just like Uber trying to figure out a model where that infrastructure, I'm not talking just the process of moving money, right? That infrastructure was available to normal people, right? So when you do that, believe it or not, I have actually been sued by regulators, right, from New York to California. So because when I started this business, we were so ahead of the time, right? So what we really wanted to do was we wanted to do away with in terms of coming up with this investment. And just before the pandemic, I think it took us at least 3 or 4 years to kind of go back and forth with the regulators. And one of the world's first remittance as a service has begun. Now, what does that mean to the customer, right? So what that means to the customer is just in Nepal, we are a heavily remittance-centric country. We're spending almost 1% of GDP in the fees. Or new economy or create whereas IT, I think I'll talk about later. So having this disruption because of the regulation, so what is creating is the money transfer across border is going free. And then I think, so if what it has all evolved in for me is because of these regulations, where we wanted to challenge, we also wanted to embrace, starting from America. Now, what we're really doing is we're enabling a future where somebody should be able to open a bank account from a local app in Nepal. Tara, Nepalko context, I have always been, Guru Sir hununcha, he's actually one of my mentors. And at any point, I needed central bank support has always been there, right? So, alikati male technical pani bhaye, ke bhayo bhandakeri when we started the e-commerce company called Tamil.com selling goods, it did phenomenally, it did phenomenally well, got a lot attention around the world. People wanted to send money, so we actually started a money transfer company in this platform. In fact, it was Central Bank back in 10 years ago, I think they put the name Tamil Remit, not me. So kasto cha bhandakeri, and I think as an entrepreneur, especially in the IT space, I think the disruption is going to be challenge the existing regulations. Does that mean I'm going to basically, in the business of movie, does that mean basically I'm going to violate AML? Definitely not. Jun chai the core essence chani, the core essence is in terms of innovation, especially in the digital, as the core essence will remain, but the process which has been stumbled by regulation will move forward. Lastly, I think moving forward, keeping that essence is going to be an opportunity of the future. So I think regular I think so what happens is for me now finally is I think I think so what it has all evolved into in terms of this opportunity is we are literally launching one of the world's first borderless bank from Nepal. Right? So I think that's going to be launched hopefully in a month. So we'll make an announcement. And I think it's a basically kind of kind of like a basically your regulation सँगै नै त्यसलाई सँगै लिएर र future हेरेर त्यसलाई कसरी modify गरेर जानु नै is a root cause of innovation. So for me, I think that's been the biggest fun.
Thank you. One thing that I really liked about was he mentioned about facing suits in US, not in Nepal, for the business that he is trying to create. And that's good to know at least that Nepali regulators still think that the problems he is facing, and he mentioned about the Rashtra Bank, should be solved. So glad to know that. I think the way we see going forward is regulations need to be improved and needs to be constantly modified to embrace the new technologies that we have in place now. Thank you for that initial insights, Balaji. I'll move on to Mosami ji now. Mosami ji, I think your area of business, agriculture, where your company essentially focuses on is to really bridge this gap between subsistence farming and commercial agriculture. So you try to really transform the subsistence farming where you could introduce more commercialization into that sector. In that, you must have closely worked with the farmers. So how do you see Nepalese farmers' ambition changing in the last few decades? That's one question that I have for you. Or I think, do you also see that the farmers in Nepal are satisfied with whatever they produce from their small land holdings, or do you want to grow big now? And also related to that is, do you see there is a possibility for larger Nepali people to participate in agriculture and become entrepreneurs?
Thank you, Semanji. I would just like to look at Gaganji, going back to our 20 years, how we both brainstorm and try to crack our head to see how we can bring really change in agriculture. He was involved in goat farming and I was in poultry. And it was not a tough journey. So we both had to struggle, but he closed down his goat farm, but I'm still continuing with my poultry farm. But he's found his place in politics, maybe still struggling, but I'm sure he'll find his space soon. And I started with a small in the poultry sector, but slowly grew, and now we are getting into the public limited company. So I would like to say that everyone, when we start small, and today I see even when I go to the farm, when I go to the field, I see the farmers with hope. They really want to change themselves, and from subsistence farmer to a commercial farmer. Yes, it's not an easy journey, but there is a way, and we now as a little bigger industrial, like getting into the farming and into the production, we are now working into the 4F, farm, feed, food, and facilitation. So this is the new wing where we've started, is the facilitation. Our main goal of this wing is to capacitate our farmer and bring change in their livelihoods, increase their production, improve their production, and increase and motivate them to stay back in the country and continue farming. So what I would like to say is, it's not an easy journey, but we really need to work together and try to bring change with support, with capacity building and helping hands to the farmers. So just I would like to give the recent example, what we've done. So with the COVID and with the flow of high migrations and liquidity crisis in the country. So those were the phase, and we were also struggling because there was lots of displacement of the farmers going on, and most of the poultry farmers were closing their shed and leaving the country. And we as an industry, where we were supplying inputs, chicks and feed to the farmers, were also suffering because there were not many farmers left. So we really tried to see how we can bring these farmers back. So we introduced a contract farming model, and that's really one good model. I think Rameshwar Khanalji has also recommended in his reform book, like how we can really introduce well-managed contract farming system in Nepal. So we tried that as a pilot, and we managed to, really motivate the farmers and get back into the business by giving them good quality inputs, technical assistance from our experts, hand-holding them to their day-to-day work, and also close monitoring of their work, and also guaranteeing the market, buying back the ready birds from them and putting them into our processing unit. So this is the model we applied, and then we managed to get back into the business again. But now what we have realized is that contract farming, getting back in the business, working with the farmers is not enough, because we still find the production cost is coming still high. So right now we are selling our bird at rupees 180 per kilo for the ready birds, whereas the production cost is coming rupees 280 per kilo. So again, you see there is a gap. So unless we meet the BEP, we'll never be able to be sustainable. So there's still challenge going on, and we are cracking our head how we can really improve. Then we try to explore, study what is our neighboring countries doing, how they are surviving in this business. So IB Group in Rajkot, they've come up with a concept called Parivartan, where they're trying to really bring change in the farmers' production capacity by bringing improvement in the infrastructure. So learning from that model, we are also now introducing transformation in agriculture through innovation. So 3-4 things that we are trying to bring innovations for the farmer, that also low-cost innovation is like a climate-smart housing for the farmers. So if you go to the cattle shed or the poultry shed, you see that the birds are really suffering. Their houses are just made with this straw and like all the local materials, but the ventilation is not there, and because of the climate change problems, there's lots of heat waves and the floods, so there are lots of mortality going on. So how much ever we put, how much of a good input, how much of a good quality feed we give, there is a mortality and the production is not coming up to the standard. So these are the few things that we've been observing, and we're really trying to put our brain and effort, do lots of research and innovation to introduce innovative technologies to improve the housing system. And another thing that we are trying to bring change is the water supply system. Like people, when you go to the houses, they drink a quality filtered water, but they don't give quality water to the birds or to the cattle because they think that they will survive, they have the immunity, but it's not true. There are lots of waterborne diseases, and for that we are introducing a simple technology called a biosand filtration in collaboration with companies like Best Pani, Smart Pani, and put it in a shed, and it's not a high expensive. For 20,000, 30,000, we can install a filtration in their farm and just give clean water to the animals. So this is reducing the mortality. And we are also setting up IoT censored devices in the shed to keep monitoring the shed, and also introducing MIS system, teaching them the because we are also now talking about the digitization in agriculture. So like the farmers put the records daily, and we can monitor them closely and give them timely advice. So what I'm trying to say that now the innovations and technologies are going to play a big role to bring change in the transformation and to improve the production. And so we are hopeful that with the introduction of these new technologies, we will be able to meet our production standards.
Thank you, Mousomiji. I think technology will certainly drive the agriculture sector as well. And I see that your industry is really focusing on decreasing the birds' mortality and also improving feed and water supply for them, better treated water. So thanks for letting us know all about that. I think I will move to Jabor, and Jabor, I think Ansel has captured our imagination in many ways. Ncell's branding, beginning with the initial branding that you had in 2000s, it was about here for Nepal. Then you had a branding in between called Today, Tomorrow, and Together. And currently the branding that you have is Here for You. So Ncell, has been together with Nepal from yesterday till today and will be with us till foreseeable tomorrow. But the journey, this journey that you had in Nepal was made possible also because of the 1990s reform where the telecommunication sector was liberalized and you were able to grow in Nepal. However, this journey, although with a lot of experience, may not have been a smooth sail. You must have faced some bumps along the road. So with this achievement that you have behind you and the future that you have for Nepal, what is the tomorrow that you envision for Nepal and for the telecommunication sector?
Thank you very much for this question. Do you want me to give you a politically correct answer or the truth, the way I think?
I think let's have a political correct answer to start with, and then probably I'll probe you more to get a...
Okay, then. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my honor to be on the stage. I'm still questioning myself why I was invited, and I will do my level best to make sure that you guys came here not only for the award ceremony, but you will benefit from the discussion as well. So, look, we all have children, right? And we all understand that tomorrow is very dependent on what you do today. We teach them, if you want to ensure the bright future, you have to do something today. So it's not any different for Ncell, it's not any different for the government, it's not any different for anything. To ensure the bright future, we have to do something today. And I'm really impressed by the keynote speaker, Mr. Kanal. It was very impressive for me to understand and connect the dots of why these bright days of Ncell were there. When economy opened, country opened, investment came. I think Telecom was a jewel of Nepal then, and Ncell was part of this journey. It's not a secret, unfortunately, for the last 6-7 years, the industry is in sharp decline. Nepal Telecom, we had many other operators who closed, 2 existing operators, including famous Ncell, it's declining, right? And obviously, it indicates that something is not right. And Ncell is taking this matter with full seriousity, and we're applying a lot of reforms internally. But can we succeed in this journey alone? Obviously not. This year, and it might not be secret for many of you, in September, Ncell is going to be celebrating 20th anniversary, right? And it's a good milestone for us to think on our identity and journey, right? And I can tell you, with all honesty, being 20 years in the industry in many parts of the globe and other countries, that there are not that many industries who actually contributed to reshaping the country and contributing to every single person's life, and Ncell is not an exception. So, here for you, here for Nepal initially, today, tomorrow, together, and here for you is the new trade line for us. Here for you, it means for all the customers. Here for you, it means for Nepal. And we're here for the government to lead the next level of evolution and ensure that the tomorrow is not something we're going to compromise. So, here for you means a lot. We committed to continue investing heavily and be next to all the leaders to ensure the bright future, as I mentioned. But what really tomorrow means for the industry and for Ncell, it is a bit concerning. And some of you might have heard me already speaking that decline and challenges and new technologies are kind of not certain, right? And if the reforms and bold decisions won't be taken in a shorter period of time, which is today, our future might be compromised, right? We had several meetings with a lot of decision makers, leaders of the country, leaders of the industry. We had a meeting with the media community as well, including Madan Dai and his team, right? We're trying to explain not what is happening today only, but where this trajectory will take us. So we as experts of the industry, we're trying to engage the decision makers and leaders to understand that ignorance might compromise the future. And the future is pretty much digital. Government envisioned digital future, and telecoms is the critical enabler for anything we can dream of, right? And not paying attention to the most critical, fundamentally important industry is might be very, very big mistake. Just for the record, industry of Nepal, telecom industry in Nepal in the last 5 years declined about 5%, including ISPs, right? Where the neighboring countries increased. India, for example, telecom industry increased by 100% in the last 5 years, right? And India has almost 90% 5G coverage. The world is speaking about 6G, right? And here we are in Nepal still struggling despite being leading country when 3G was launched, for example, right? So tomorrow is something we have to address today, and I'm glad that this discussion is taking place, and I'm really positive and optimistic. My nature is optimistic, so me being optimistic doesn't necessarily ensure the bright future, but I'm positive if things will start happening and we'll be here for you, meaning everyone here for each other, we can ensure the brighter future.
Thanks. Thank you. I think that received a good round of applause also.
Maybe they're customers of Ncell and enjoying the service we provide, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right. I see that for you to lay a foundation, now there's a time to lay another foundation for the telecommunication sector to really grow, I think. And that laying a foundation could include making some regulatory framework changes, having other infrastructure in place. And the next growth avenue is probably digitization, because for digitization, you need a solid telecommunication infrastructure. So thanks for that. I'll move on to Gaganji now. I think for me, the question I want to pose to you will begin with your journey as a politician. I think when you were just joining college, entering college early in 1990s, you must have heard about the news about the new extensive set of reforms that the government back then was undertaking. And these reforms, was undertaken by a Nepali Congress government when it had majority in power. And some of these economic policies it introduced included liberalization, opening up, privatization, and also fiscal adjustments. Those 1990s reforms, as I think Ramesh sir also mentioned earlier, were path-breaking, and now even the critics of those reforms have really embraced them. But growing up and also entering into politics after that, how much have those 1990 reforms shaped your own political outlook, your own political ideologies? And now, after you become an experienced politician now and in a senior leadership position within your party, how do you foresee, your role in shaping of the next set of reforms?
सबभन्दा पहिला त न्यू बिजनेस एजलाई यो अवसरको लागि धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद. मलाई चाहिँ यो बाख्रा पालनले यहाँ पनि नछाड्ने भयो. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you for allowing me to share my very personal journey. So you're very right. I had just entered college. In fact, equivalent to class 11 of today, when Nepali Congress had started its tenure after 1990 restoration of democracy. At the time, I had a very limited interest and also knowledge of economic policies. However, being a newcomer to student politics, I was, of course, very interested in political workshops. I used to attend political meetings and also used to follow the opinion of intellectuals, media, political leaders. I remember the opposition was so heavily criticizing the reform policies of 1990 government, particularly the privatization. I remember articles and speeches where those who were in charge of reforms, particularly finance minister or a vice chair of National Planning Commission, or even in some cases Prime Minister himself, labeled as monsters who sold our public property. And interestingly, it was not from opposition bench. I remember number of influential leaders within Nepali Congress also opposing and criticizing the reforms. The whole political discourse was so heavily dominated by this, leftist ideology, so that whatever we did in 1990 was not healthy for our economy. So that was a kind of dominant statement at the time. And I, along with other friends, colleagues, young student leaders, we also were very much influenced, by that discourse. So I remember early in 2000, when in my own personal experience, when I changed my academic journey from pure science to social science, then that was a time when I started to have more interest in economic policies, social policies. Then we developed a critical view. We also started to follow why India is growing so fast, what is China doing differently, what Bangladesh is doing, what other countries are doing. So that was a time when the political discourse at the very left of Nepali political spectrum set our social policies, and that was quite helpful. But that was a time when we revisited our thought and view on economic policy of 1990. And that shifted. And then we came out with some very clear vision. Yes, we could have done differently a few things in 1990. We made some errors, we made some mistakes. But largely, what we did in 1990 was amazing. That was very timely. That was a need of hour, and that was pathbreaking. So then we started discussing it within our party, but then we realized that we were in a minority, and our leaders who championed those reforms were very defensive. And even Prime Minister, the then Prime Minister, late G.P. Koirala, I never found him coming forward and claiming that. He was very reluctant, because that was political atmosphere. But we kept on digging it, we kept on pursuing it, we kept on advocating it within party rank and file. It took some years. We bear the burnt. But now coming to today, now we have made a very conscious, after this tireless effort, now we have made a very conscious decision to embrace, to celebrate, to honor what we did in 1990. What we did in the very first 3 years of post-1990 government. Now we want to own it. We want to advance. We want to take it further. I would not say that we want to. Yes, there is still many unfinished tasks, but we don't want to stop here. We want to. We can say second generation reform, third generation reform, you name it. But what we want to do is that we want to go for a very vibrant, dynamic economy, and what we have embraced is it is only possible if we have the courage to take more bold, to make it more open, as Kanal sir had just mentioned in his keynote speech. So my point is that the party which championed 1990 and the leaders, we were on the front bench of that very reform, kept quiet, silent, defensive, and leaders also took a backbench for almost more than a decade. And that was one reason why it took so long time to go for the second round reform. Because there was no one to take to take credit for that, no one claiming that yes, we did it. But now we have come out with a very clear vision that whatever political price we have to pay, we are ready to pay. But we embrace it, we honor it, we celebrate it, and we want to take it further.
Thank you, Gandhi. I think I agree to the fact that early on until even the late 2000s, there was a huge critics still of the 90s reforms. So the negative connotation behind that is still captured the way we could undertake another set of reforms. But now everyone thinks that is the foundation to create, surge into the next round of reforms. I think we don't have much time, so second series of questions, I would appreciate if my panelists will be very brief in responding to the question. I'll also try to summarize my question also at the same time. अनि अहिले बाख्राकै कुरा हुँदाखेरि अलिकति बाख्रा त हाम्रो हिन्दू धर्ममा जोडिन्छ नि, उहाँ पनि फेरि thomel.com उहाँको जर्नी पनि फेरि बाख्राबाटै सुरु हुन्छ। त्यस कारणले उहाँ जहाँ पुग्नु भएको छ बाख्राको कारणले पुग्नु भएको छ हैन। त्यस कारणले त्यो बाख्रालाई हामीले त्यसरी अरू तरिकाले हेर्नु हुँदैन जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। सँगसँगै अब अगाडि बढ्दै जाँदाखेरि मलाई अब प्रश्न अफ लेट, अब अङ्ग्रेजीमा आएँ म फर्केर। Of late, IT has received a huge prominence in any government policy document. Even Rameswar sir's document talks about creating a separate legal entity, a separate entity to regulate and facilitate IT. Do you think, फेरि अर्को जोक आउनु मन लागिहाल्यो हाम्रोमा फेरि त्यो अलि पानी जहाजको अर्को जोक छ, talking about ship, the way I see it is sometimes we still, some IT critics say that the IT ship has already left Nepal's shore. Do you agree to that? Or do we still have tickets to buy to get on board that ship?
Okay, thank you. So going back to Bakra, so Gagan Bhai, so here's something for you, right? So I think connection is definitely with the goat, right? So if you think about goat, what it is, right? Greatest of all time. So I think something you should feel is, I've taken a goat and I'm launching this new bank next month as greatest of all transfers, right? That's for us. So to your question, the answer is absolutely yes. So it's definitely yes. And on a case of it's very concerning. I think the reality is, I think like any other industries that we've had in the past, right? We have always started from glory. We had this great opportunity in hydro. We had this great opportunity in tourism. We had this great opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But in case of reality, I think we could not take it to the economy of scale. And I'm afraid that actually IT is facing the same thing. I think I think we should definitely look into what's happening, especially in Bhutan. I think especially the Lefuma. So they've now created such a environment, so where a lot of international investors are now actually looking into Bhutan. So our core competency right? Our core competency is now basically hydro. So hydro ko, I think the future is to be able to turn that into AI opportunity, responsible AI. Now, to be very specific with the numbers, Microsoft is sitting with the $10 billion worth of carbon credit that they need to offset. We have a hydro. Now, how fast are we going to actually now basically come up with the reforms to allow that, right? So, especially on the macro side, we are actually missing the boat. Definitely, very, very fast. And that's very concerning to me. Number two, I'm very excited that there is so much excited about the tech attention that the tech is getting. So I had a lot of role to play in terms of basically getting that data out from the cave, and basically we were pretty busy supplies that basically now it's one of Nepal's largest IT export. But my concern is, I think if you look deep into it, so tech, there are two sides of tech, right? So one is service. Service business, which is probably, I'd say, 99% of the revenue that contributes to the economy, is no different than a garment business. So I think the whole concept of that business is, where go cheap labor, there go I go, right? But the thing is, very significant portion is the product. So you cannot be a unicorn by being a service business. So you have to be a product company. So, and I think this where is the light at the end of the tunnel? So this morning I got a great news. So some of the entrepreneurs that I had mentored, they basically started, they started a company, especially also in the fintech, 4 वर्ष 5 वर्ष अगाडि, today in hundreds of millions of dollars, basically they raised $31 million, right? So what's also the other side of the coin is, there are entrepreneurs like myself who are coming back to Nepal, and then turning Nepal into an innovation hub. And that is the opportunity. Now, coming back to regulation, now adding reform, whatever I do for a living, right? So what I'm doing is, I'm enabling ek level ko borderless ko digitalization ko process ko basic infrastructure that is going to be a payment, right? Now, what you really have to understand, going back to reform and going back to where the society has evolved from 3.0, there was no need for people to do business before 3.0. There was no need for people to even do business between Wada, if you go back to, between a Gaon, if you go back to 100 years, but the need has different. And the opportunity, you look at Uber, you look at Airbnb, you look at AWS, you look at anything. So what has really happened? Everything has leapfrogged into future. The future ma ke cha bhandakeri त्यो regulation lai कसरी चाहिँ तपाईको चाहिँ challenge गरेको छ भन्दाखेरि the capex of setting up the businesses of the future, now that capex is becoming free. Right? Now, when I was actually, when I was in the US and I would make a call, back then in 1992, it would cost almost 80 rupiah per minute then. Right now, it's for free. So I think so basically what's really happening is, as the future is moving more fast, मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ one of our foot is definitely in the medieval ages. We are so excited about the past. Other foot is in the future. So until and unless we leave the past, we are not going to be in the future. IT ma pani, you like it or not. I know that all of you are very, very excited about it, but we are missing the boat. Why? Arko, everybody's excited about AI. So when you look at the service industry, we have mid-level engineers that are actually going to be replaced by AI. So I think the whole innovation has been is to what is the fastest process? What is the fastest process of taking that other foot down? And मलाई लाग्छ कि now the new hope that we're seeing, being in the payment and this regulation that just recently came about, Nepali tech companies हरूले चाहिँ बाहिर $1 million सम्मको investment गर्न पाउने, I think that's fascinating. Guess what? So I think Nepal will be the first country in the world. Nepal will again be the first country in the world where somebody through a local banking app is going to be able to register a company in the US and also open a bank account, FDIC insured chartered bank account from Nepal. So त्यो भनेको progress हो. So मलाई के लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि the sad part is I think we are missing out the big opportunities. I think the better part, I think bunch of people like us who's gone abroad coming back and turning into an innovation center. So that's what I actually think in my mind.
Thank you. Very well put. I think in Nepal, we also live at the Flintstones age and we also live at the Jetstones age at the same time. So that's really well articulated, Pala sir. I'll go on to Mosami ma'am. I'll be very brief, and I'd also appreciate if you try to be very brief in your response, because we also need to take questions from our audience. I think one of the things that is pointed out in Ramesh sir's report is the problem of middlemen. And he is suggesting that middlemen in agriculture, entire value chain has to be eliminated, is the kind of a suggestion that I think is articulated in his report. Your company also wants to really streamline the middlemen and also wants to introduce some efficiencies within the agricultural value chain. However, these efficiencies, when you try to introduce some of the efficiencies, the Nepal's limited infrastructure is kind of a bottleneck there. So how do you perceive, going forward, that the value chain process in agriculture can be improved?
Yeah, thank you. I will not say that all the middlemen or the bichaulas should be completely eliminated. They also play a very important role in this whole value chain. But the problem is that the farmer and the consumer should not suffer. The farmers should be getting the value for what they're producing, and consumers should be paying the price that is right for the product. That is the main issue. And from input to output, like from farmer to consumers, farmers are the one who's producing, and then the consumers are the one who are eating, right? So within that whole chain, there's so many players involved. So we have to look at the whole system from the market system development approach. So there are so many players in that, and not only the private sector, there are other players also, the policy makers, the market actors, and the service providers. So all three units plays a very equally important role to streamline this whole value chain. So unless there is a good policy, unless there is a good standards, or unless there is a good system, this whole value chain will not work. And unless there is a good service providers like financial institutions, insurance companies, logistic providers, digital service providers, institutions like research, universities, NARC, so they also play a equally very important role. So with the support of the policymakers and the service providers, the private sectors drives the whole chain. So there are players like producer groups, farmers, agrovets, input providers, retailers, wholesalers. So there's so many players, and so when the product from the farmers, it goes to the consumers, the lots of things happen, there are lots of processes happens, and the price gets escalated. So what I would like to say is that we really need to look into the role of the each players carefully, and streamline the whole process and identify the issues, where are the issues, and try to ease those, solve those problems, and come up with a good solution, so that the farmers also don't suffer and the consumers also don't suffer, and the private sector playing in a pivotal role drive this whole chain properly, so that consumers get the product in the right price, following the whole process smoothly.
Thank you. It's important to have a strong linkage between farmers, agri-processors, and the consumers in the end. And some of the solution that you proposed is quite meaningful there. Thank you, Mosami ma'am. I'll move on to Jabor now. Jabor, there are two parts to my question this time. In one of the question, maybe you could be politically incorrect also when you respond to that. The first question is, one of the way to really drive digital Nepal going forward is to have a strong backbone, and telecommunication really provides that strong backbone. But Nepal already, you mentioned about declining declining telecommunication penetration in Nepal, 5% decline growth for last few years. And already, I think Nepal is one of the few countries which is lagging behind in adopting 5G technology. So my question, maybe you could be politically correct or incorrect, is why do you think Ncell would not want to adopt 5G technology anytime soon in Nepal? Or Ncell, or my question could be, is Ncell looking forward to adopting 5G or providing 5G services to Nepali consumers?
We have a very provocative moderator, I should say. First of all, Ncell wants 5G and 6G, and Ncell wants to be proud to make Nepal the most advanced country in South Asia, if not globally. And that was not the exception when we launched 3G. 3G in Nepal was launched first in South Asia, okay? The second is, unfortunately, and that's also fact, and you're right, in launching of 5G, we're the last. All South Asian countries have 5G. Pakistan is going to launch in August. And unfortunately, we're not seeing the future that near, where operators are enabled to deploy the latest technologies. And I will explain to you in a bit why and how it should be fixed. It's bad, yes. Today it doesn't look good. Most probably as a result of yesterday. And tomorrow, again, we discuss this in our hands. So there are a few steps that we have to take immediately, and it cannot be Ncell alone, And I will speak about 5 steps. And I will put the disclaimer that these 5 steps are important to be taken in parallel. It's not I take first step, second step, because we're already at least 5 to 10 years behind to our neighbor, India, or all the South Asian countries. We're behind. This is the fact, right? In Ncell, we do not lie to ourselves, despite our business possibly being still looking stable. It looks, and optics are a bit misleading. So 5 steps. The first step, very important one, government support is required. None of the industries, zero, none of the private houses, none of the business houses will succeed without government welcoming it and supporting it. And I think Mr. Kanal mentioned it in 1990. That was the first thing. We welcome the business, and we want you guys to help us, and we help you. So it's a both-way communication. And this is very critical. This is number one. The second one, when it comes to 5G, okay? The second one, what we have to make sure is the 5G has a business case, or it's viable to invest. Otherwise, it's going to be Soviet Union. I was born in Soviet Union, and it collapsed because it didn't make business sense. Where China is making everything based on business logic, common sense. So there should be a business case. And to make it business viable, we as Ncell, we already recommended subscription-based model. It's not any different from any South Asian countries where subscriber is committing some level of expenses to get the latest technology as a service, right? So second is subscription. The third one is going to be taxation, which which is not as friendly, especially in industry of ours, and currently it's all the way to 60%, right? Those reforms should happen. The fourth one, our Telecom Act and regulation is at least 30, 40 years old. Those changes should happen as soon as possible, right? And I believe the last but not the least, we all have to be in dialogue. We have to really engage each other into the constructive dialogue and take those decisions. You know, we as leaders, and I've been speaking about this, we all take decisions daily. And there are good decisions and bad decisions, you know, but currently what I feel, we're in a situation where there is no decision. And absence of decision, being in vacuum, is way more irresponsible, and it's subjective opinion, than taking a wrong decision. Okay? And that's why today the urgency of those steps that I just mentioned are critical, and I still, being optimistic and being politically correct, as you recommended, I want to believe that those decisions will start happening. And sooner it will happen, sooner 5G will be deployed. As I mentioned once again, and I want to emphasize it, Ncell is willing to roll out 5G, right? And government in its budget announced that Kathmandu will have 5G, okay? But again, many of us are economists here. If we're just gonna run the numbers, which are very transparent, there is no business case. It's impossible in current realities. And with these 4 or 5 steps that I mentioned, if they, by some miracle, it will happen that tomorrow those decisions will be taken, I can guarantee you in the next year or 2, the story is gonna be completely different and we're gonna catch up the game. Thank you.
Thank you, Jabur. I think that is encouraging. I'm going to change my cell phone soon after this conversation, buy a 5G-enabled phone, I think, because I see those 5 steps that you mentioned are doable, and something if government shows commitment, it's something on the government side, you know, if they try to introduce or change some of the telecom regulation, you know, make Nepal a slightly more tax-friendly country, then I think the 5G deployment in Nepal is not very far away. So thanks for that, Jabur. I'm going to move to Gagandai now. Gagandai, I think my question to you is again based on Rameshwar sir's report. Rameshwar sir has written a 447-page long report. And one of the reasons why the report is very long is because there has been a reform backlog. And that is the reason I think he had to state so many reforms are required. And the accumulation and the pending of the reforms made his report also very comprehensive. And he also proposed so many reforms at the same time. You've been a proponent of reforms within the party, you know, in the parliament also. But for a normal person like us, we are in a very fragmented political environment.
And I don't want to blame any political party or government, parties and government in general. We took shortcuts. We opted for easy way out. So short-term economic measures, freebies, and more relying on distributive policies. Some populist moves as well. But now, time has come that we now need to come out of comfort zone. When I say coming out of comfort zone means that just putting blame on someone or system is not going to work. This is our choice, that by choice, we have this electoral system. And in this electoral system, this is, I mean, quite impossible for any political party to have, a single-handed control over the power. Yes, we are working on constitutional reform. We are contemplating on it. We will come up with we might come up with some agreements. But until then, we have to accept that we need to work in this political system, in this political structure. So whatever opportunity comes, we need to grab it. That is what I feel. So when I first attended the very first meeting of this high-level political committee of NC and UML, my first statement to other political leaders who had attended that meeting was, look, I'm not interested in daily this government affairs, because this is up to Prime Minister and ministers. The only rationale of this political committee would be if Congress and UML can, go deep into the reform agendas, discuss on this, agree on this, and come out with some doable prescriptions. Then I was asked for example. Then the first thing I told them was that, do you want to continue with this Nepali airline structure? हाम्रो अहिले जस्तो ट्याक्स ल छ यस्तै ट्याक्स ल राखिराख्ने हो. Why are we having so many regulations and restrictions to invest abroad, to get investment? Why so many draconian laws? Do you want to continue with this and just do some patchworks, or do you want to go for some solid reforms? Then I was then given the responsibility to come up with some workable document. So together with my team, Samantha, you were also on that team. We worked day and night, and then we worked with the other colleagues from UML and also from the government side. Kanal sir's advice was there. Then we came out with some doable set of legal reforms, law reforms, and that came out with this Adhyadis. So I don't claim that was a big push, a big reform, but that was some sort of indication that now government is committed. And we have opened up second round of reform. Now Kanal's report is already there. So government is committed. They have, as he mentioned, they have created a task force which have come out with some plan of action, and government has already decided on that. Now, just a week ago, when we had this again, not meeting of that Samyantra, but meeting of senior leaders, that is what I when Prime Minister was there, party president was there. So what I proposed was that now we want to go for the second round. We want to work on it. We will use Kanal's report as primary reference. We want to monitor, we want to empower, we want to evaluate, we want to encourage government to follow all the plan of actions. And also there are a lot of areas which are untouched, as he also mentioned, or need some deeper work on that area, like telecommunication, areas of IT, so there's green growth, number of areas. So we want to start work on it. Frankly speaking, and I'll also conclude with this, I don't see that political instability or frequent change in government is a real issue. The real issue is lack of commitment, lack of focus, lack of clarity on the head of government and on our senior leaders. If there is this lack of, if there is focus, if there is commitment, I truly believe that amidst this political chaos, so let there be, frequent change in government. We can stop that. Even if there is frequent change in government, as Kanalji sir mentioned that was Barsaman Pun. We in fact introduced that, in his budget speech. And now this is Vishnu Paudil. And nobody knows, if there will be another government in two, three governments in up to next election. Even Prime Minister is not sure. Nobody is sure. But we need to grab each and every opportunity. Kanal sirs, or Vishnu Paudil, they didn't say that it was previous minister's commitment. He grabbed it. I'm trying to use every single opportunity which we are getting whenever we are dealing with our senior leaders. They are interested in other things, let them do it. We will do our karma. We'll keep on pushing it for go for second round of reforms. So that is what I believe, that let's not wait for a new political setup. Let's not wait for political reform. We can work even within this structure. We can work even in this chaotic political setup or political instability. Now we have identified where are the issues, where are the gaps. Let's work on it.
Thank you. I think the main thing is to have a common agenda and also shared worry that reforms are needed. So if the shared worry is there and this common agenda of reform can be pushed, and you've been, and Rameswar sir have been an example of that, and thanks for that. I think maybe I should now invite my audience to pose some questions to my brilliant panelist here. We could do this in two ways. One is to have some written question come to me, and I would also, So we could do this in two ways. One is to have some written question come to me. That would make the discussion more efficient. And second is I would also give some opportunity to two audience member to also speak and pose their questions to the panelist here. And if you could be very brief in your question, and also please identify yourself also very briefly. So in the meantime I get the written questions to me, I could take two questions from the audience. Thank you. Anybody, I think if you could raise your hand, I could ask the team here to take the mic towards you. And because this light is coming towards me, I can't see very properly. So excuse me for that.
Good evening and namaste. I am Parshuram Kumar Chhetri. I am ex-banker, but I still consider myself as a banker. My question to another Mananiya Gagan Thapa Jiulai, GDP ka tinta components of investment, government bhai pani, private sector bhai pani, spending, government and private sector again, अनि अर्को त ट्रेड हो, एक्सपोर्ट माइनस इम्पोर्ट, यो त हाम्रो लागि जहिले पनि नेगेटिभ नम्बर हो। अब यो स्पेन्डिङको लागि स्पेन्डिङ बढाउनको लागि सर्ट टु मिडियम टर्ममा चाहिँ नि के गर्नु पर्ला, अथवा सरकारलाई चाहिँ नि यहाँले के गर्नुपर्छ, अथवा सरकारले के गर्दैछ, सरकारलाई के गर्नुपर्छ भनेर यहाँले सुझाव दिइराख्नु भएको छ। मेरो विचारमा स्पेन्डिङ भएन भने इन्भेस्टमेन्ट पनि नहोला अनि रोजगारी पनि नहोला। हुन त थुप्रै रिफर्म्सका कुराहरू आजको प्रोग्राममा पनि भयो, खनाल सरले पनि बताइसक्नु भएको छ। सर्ट टु मिडियममा स्पेन्डिङ अथवा डिमान्ड बढाउनको लागि के गरिदिनु पर्ला जस्तो लाग्छ भन्ने मेरो प्रश्न चाहिँ नि माननीय गगन थापाज्यूलाई। थ्याङ्क यू।
Thank you. I think this question is, we'll take some few rounds of question. One more question, and then I will also start reading the written question that I've received. So someone from there on the left side of the room, my left side.
Hello. I think it's a good evening. My name is Dipesh Maske. I represent Subisu, and who is also an internet partner in this program. So I would like to raise a question to Jabbar sir, CEO sir from NCL. As you rightly said that in last few years, when India is jumping around 100% on the connectivity and the consumer level or on the revenue level, in the same time, Nepal degrowth with the 5 to 6%. What do you think this has helped us to further degrowth? Is it due to the government policies? It is due to the political instability? It is due to the market saturation? It is due to the technology upgradation? Or it is due to the too much of market competition and price war between us that has led to this kind of 5% degrowth when our neighbor raised to 100% growth? Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think we have two questions from the audience now. There's one for Gagandai and there's one for Jabor. I think Gagandai, if you could go first.
हजुर धन्यवाद परशुरामजीलाई। म छोटोमा राख्छु। सर्ट टर्ममा अहिले सरकारले आफूले पनि केही कुराहरू आइडेन्टिफाई गरेको, हामीले अहिले गर्न खोजिरहेको मेरो ठाउँबाट भनिरहेको कुरा चाहिँ कानुनी सुधारको सन्दर्भमा चाहिँ हामीहरूको पोलिटिकल विल मात्र भयो भने पनि गर्न सकिने हाम्रो अवस्था छ। पार्लियामेन्ट्री सिस्टमको सबैभन्दा सहजता भनेकै गभर्नमेन्टसँग जहिले पनि पार्लियामेन्टमा मेजोरिटी हुन्छ। यदि यो डिरेक्टली इलेक्टेड यदि यो प्राइम मिनिस्टर वा प्रेसिडेन्टल सिस्टम थियो भने त्यो बेलामा के कुराको वरि गर्नु पर्थ्यो होला प्रधानमन्त्रीलाई कि मैले गर्न खोजेको कुनै पनि खालको कानुनी परिवर्तनमा लिगल चेन्जेसहरुमा मलाई बहुमत होला कि नहोला भनेर वरि गर्नु पर्थ्यो होला। पार्लियामेन्ट्री सिस्टम त्यसमाथि पनि हामीहरूले वेस्टमिन्स्टर सिस्टम पनि कसरी प्र्याक्टिस गरिरहेको हो भने हामीहरूले बहुसंख्यक कुराहरुमा व्हिपको प्र्याक्टिस गरिरहेको अवस्थामा सरकारले सोचेको कुरा म यो कानुनमा बदल्छु भनेको कुरा चाहिँ सजिलैसँग गर्न सक्छ भन्ने त्यसको एउटा प्रमाण अस्तिको अध्यादेश पनि हो। त्यसले अहिले हामीले बन्डलिङ गरिरहेको चाहिँ अघि रामेश्वर सरले पनि के कुराहरु भन्नुभयो दुईटा खालको कुराहरु। एउटा चाहिँ जस्तो अहिले सरकारी खर्चमा सबैभन्दा बढी दोष देखाइराखिएको भनेको सार्वजनिक खरिद ऐनलाई भयो। त्यसको हामीले नियम कतिचोटि परिवर्तन गरिसक्यौं। अहिले अर्थमन्त्री यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ, अहिले एउटा टिमले सार्वजनिक खरिद ऐनमा त्यहाँबाट आएको केही सुझावहरू हाम्रो पनि केही स्टडिजहरूबाट हामी सार्वजनिक खरिद ऐनमा केही कुराहरू बदल्नका निम्ति काम गरिरहेका छौं र यही सकेसम्म छिटोभन्दा छिटो त्यसलाई हामी बदल्छौं। एउटा उदाहरण मात्र भनेको यस्तो अरु दर्जनौं कानुनहरू छन् जुन कानुन केसँग जोडिएको छ। कानुनमा बदल्ने कुरा एकदम सजिलो छ। त्यो कानुनमा ल्याउने बदलावले हाम्रो सरकारको खर्च गर्ने क्षमतालाई 2 गुणा 4 गुणा बढाउने अवस्था छ। केही कुराहरू चाहिँ हाम्रो व्यवहारसँग जोडिएको छ। तर त्यो व्यवहारको कुरालाई पनि हामीले लामो समय काम गरेर संस्कृति बनाउँछु भनेर भन्ने भन्दा पनि सुरुमा कानुनले नै त्यसलाई निर्देशित गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने म ठान्छु। जस्तो अघि नै सरले बाटोको कुरा गर्नुभयो, सरको रिपोर्टमा पनि छ कि हामीहरुकोमा कुनै पनि प्रोजेक्ट खास गरिकन टाइममा कम्प्लिट नहुनुको कारण, प्रोजेक्ट टाइममा कम्प्लिट नहुनु भनेको प्रोजेक्टले बनाएको एलोकेट गरेको खर्च गर्न सक्दैन। त्यो खर्च गर्न नसक्नुको कारण भनेको एउटा प्रोजेक्टको ड्युरेसन भरिमा हामी कतिजना मानिसहरू चेन्ज गर्छौं त्यो प्रोजेक्टलाई लिड गर्ने मान्छेहरू। त्यो तर यति प्रत्येक चोटिको बजेटमा यो कुरा भनिएको हुन्छ कि म यो गर्दिन भनेर। तर अहिले हामीले के कुरा रियलाइज गरेको भने यस्तो कुराहरुमा कानुनले नबाँधिकन यसलाई म्यान्डेटरी नबनाइकन यो व्यवहारबाट बदलाव हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा हुँदो रहेनछ। त्यसैले एउटा अघि भनेको जस्तो सार्वजनिक खरिद ऐन, वन ऐन जस्ता लगायतका क्षेत्रहरू जुन हामीले आइडेन्टिफाई गरेका छौं त्यसमा गर्ने सुधारहरू, एउटा सरकारले गर्ने काम गर्ने तौर तरिकाहरूलाई पनि कानुनले बाँध्ने कसरी भन्ने विषयका सन्दर्भमा एउटा यो विषय भयो। अर्को तपाईले मिड टर्ममा कसरी जाने भन्ने कुराको सन्दर्भमा अर्को कहाँनिर हेर्नुपर्ने छ भने हाम्रो सरकारी खर्च नहुनु वा अन्तिममा गएर एकैपल्ट हुनुको एउटा अर्को त्यसको प्रारम्भ कहाँबाट हुन्छ भने हाम्रो प्लानिङबाट समस्या सुरु हुन्छ। जस्तो यसपालिको अहिले हाम्रो बजेटको एलोकेसन हेरौँ। यसपालिको बजेटको एलोकेसन जसरी भएको छ संघमा वा प्रदेशमा एउटा प्रोजेक्टलाई चाहिने हामीलाई 50 करोड रुपैयाँ चाहिनेलाई हामीले राजनीतिक कारणले गर्दाखेरि त्यसमा कति छुटाएका छौं? 5 लाख, 10 लाख, 50 लाख। अब 50 लाख रुपैयाँ छुटाएर 50 करोडको कामलाई अन्त्यमा गएर त्यो खर्च नहुने कुरामा गएर त्यो गरेर जम्मा भयो। सरकारी खर्च भएन भन्छौँ हामी। सरकारी खर्च नहुने कुरा कहाँबाट सुरु भएको छ भने हाम्रो बजेट निर्माणबाट सुरु भएको छ, हाम्रो प्लानिङबाट सुरु भएको छ। त्यसैले हाम्रो होल प्लानिङ प्रोसेस अझ खास गरिकन प्रोभिन्समा त यति धेरै समस्याहरू देखियो। यसलाई पनि अघि मैले भनेको जस्तो काने ल्याएर बाँध्नुपर्छ भने हामीले के कानुनहरू बनाएर बाँध्ने खोज्यौं, तर अहिले भइरहेको हामीसँग भएको कानुनी व्यवस्थाले मात्र बाँधिएको देखिएन। त्यसैले अर्को कुरा भनेको हाम्रो बजेटिङ प्लानिङ यो प्रोसेसहरुका सन्दर्भमा यसमा पनि हामीहरू यो वर्ष चाहिँ के कानुनी सुधारमा काम गर्न चाहन्छौं। र मेरो अन्तिम कुरा भनेको चाहिँ हामीहरूसँग भएको रिसोर्सको पुल। अर्को एउटा सरकारी खर्च नहुनुको हाम्रो कारण हामी झट्ट हेर्दै गर्दाखेरि हामी के भन्छौं भने हामीसँग यति पैसा छ, एक्स अमाउन्ट अफ मनी छ, हामीले क्यापिटल एक्सपेन्डिचरलाई छुटाएको पैसा यो खर्च गर्न सकेन भनेर भन्छौं। तर त्यसको अर्को एउटा कारण भनेको चाहिँ हामी यति धेरै रिसोर्स कन्स्ट्रेन्टमा काम गरिरहेका छौं कि हामीले अल्टरनेटिभ फाइनान्सिङको सोर्सहरू खोजेनौं भने हामीसँग भएको लिमिटेड रिसोर्सबाट हाम्रो जुन डिमान्ड छ त्यो डिमान्ड र यसको बीचमा यति धेरै ग्याप छ, हामीसँग भएको पैसा नै हामी खर्च गर्न सक्दैनौं। त्यसैले सरकारले भर्खर मात्रै जुन वैकल्पिक वित्तको चाहिँ एउटा कानुनी व्यवस्था प्रारम्भ गरेको छ, यो अहिले पार्लियामेन्टमा आएको छ। हामीलाई एक्सपेडाइट गर्न चाहन्छौँ छिटोभन्दा छिटो। यस्ता थुप्रै टुल्सहरू हामीले खोज्नुपर्ने छ जसले तपाईले भनेको चाहिँ मिडियम टर्ममा, सर्ट टर्ममा यो वर्ष हामीले गर्ने भनेको चाहिँ कानुनी सुधारै हो। कानुनी सुधारबाटै हाम्रो व्यवहारगत सुधार पनि गर्ने हो। मिडियम टर्ममा चाहिँ हामीले हाम्रो प्लानिङ प्रोसेस, हाम्रो बजेटिङ प्रोसेस र हाम्रो फाइनान्सको जुन हाम्रो रिसोर्सको जुन पुल छ त्यो पुललाई बढाउने कुराको सन्दर्भमा अल्टरनेटिभ फाइनान्सिङको रिसोर्सहरू नखोजिकन हामीले ठूलो इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाउन पनि सक्दैनौँ। हाम्रो इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर ठूलो बनाउने कुराको निम्ति चाहिँ जबसम्म ठूलो रिसोर्स हामी लिएर जान सक्दैनौँ त्यो बेलासम्म हाम्रो खर्च बढ्न पनि सक्दैन। लास्ट कुरा चाहिँ हेर्दा सानो कुरा देखिन्छ, जसले हामी सिभिल सर्भिस एक्टमा काम गरिरहेका छौँ। त्यो सिभिल सर्भिस एक्ट चाहिँ त्यो निजामतीको छुट्टै एउटा एक्ट मात्र होइन, त्यो सिभिल सर्भिस एक्ट ठिक ढङ्गले हामीले यसपालि पार्लियामेन्टमा अब डेलिभरेसनमा जान्छ, हामीले केही कामहरू गरेका छौँ, हेरौँ कसरी रिजल्ट आउँछ। त्यो सिभिल सर्भिस एक्टहरू जस्तो अरू इन्स्ट्रुमेन्टहरू ठिक ठाउँमा भयो भने त्यसले पनि सरकारी खर्च बढाउने। जस्तो अहिले भनौँ न, अहिले मलाई ठ्याक्क नम्बर थाहा छैन, तर स्थानीय पालिकाले बजेट बनाइरहेको बेलामा करिब करिब चाहिँ 100वटा पालिकाको हाराहारीमा त्यो बजेटको बारेमा मुख्य निर्णय गर्ने प्रमुख प्रशासकीय अधिकृतै छैन। प्रमुख प्रशासकीय अधिकृतै नभएको पालिकाले बजेट कस्तो बनायो होला? अनि सरकारी खर्च भनेर तपाईँले भनेको खर्च भनेको त कसको खर्च पनि होला भनेदेखि भने उसको त्यो के अरे स्थानीय सरकारको खर्च पनि होला। प्रदेशमा एक वर्षमा एउटा मन्त्रालयको सचिव 4 चोटि 5 चोटि फेरिन्छ। 4 चोटि 5 चोटि प्रदेशको सचिव फेरिसके पछाडि त्यो प्रदेशले खर्च गर्ने कुरा कसरी बनाएको होला, बजेट कसरी बनाएको होला, हेर्दा सानसाना कुराहरू देखिन्छन्, तर यिनै कुराहरू हुन् जुन यो वर्षको निम्ति हाम्रो प्राथमिकतामा रहनुपर्छ। र मिडियम टर्ममा अघि मैले भनेको जस्तो हाम्रो प्लानिङको प्रोसेसमा हामीले राम्रोसँग काम गर्नुपर्छ। जुन धेरै कुरा खनाल सरले रिपोर्टमा आइडेन्टिफाई गर्नुभएको छ, केही कुराहरू हामीले थप कामहरू सुरु गरेका छौँ। यसको एउटा क्युमुलेटिभ हामीले काम गर्दै जान सक्यो भने चाहिँ केही न केही चेन्जेस चाहिँ आइएम क्वाइट होपफुल कि यो वर्षमा केही चेन्जेस देखिन्छ।
Thanks for that optimistic outlook, Gagan bhai. Jabor, I think the question was pretty clear. I'll just add one more question that I received because both the questions are very similar. I have received these questions in Nepali, so I'll try to translate this into English. The question is anonymous, so the question raising person has said that the Nepali telecommunication sector is collapsing, dharasai. To avoid that, what should the government do?
It's a long story. I think I need more time, but let me address it in a very short manner. So there are 6 reasons actually, why telecom in Nepal over the course of last 7 years was declining and is declining. The first one is like, we all know that 7 years ago, WhatsApp wasn't there, OTTs wasn't there, right? So the first thing is the industry changed. We had this over-the-top applications from Silicon Valley, increasing their valuation through Nepali people, building on my network without any license fee being paid, no taxes being paid to Nepal. So they took big portion of the revenue from Nepal and telecom operators like us and NT without any responsibility towards the local society, right? And I think, again, they did great, we did slow. We as industry, we missed that moment. So it's on us, on regulator, on government, we allowed that to happen. Second one is level playing field. And here I'm not talking even between NT and Ncell. For example, NT is allowed to pay their license fee, which is 20 billion after 5 years. And I have to pay it upfront. Otherwise, I have to pay the interest and fees to the government. So, and there are many other cases where we as foreign company not feeling equally treated. Moreover, ISP, the question was coming from Subishu, right? Their license fee is about $5,000. So you can open the business here for $5,000, get the license and run the business in ISP, where telecom operators, mobile operators have to pay $200 million every 5 years. So it's very high disparity in regulatory environment, right? The third reason is regulatory setback. Unfortunately, NTA, our regulating body, have been taking decisions over the course of last 5 years or 6 years, which were not favorable to the industry, right? Regulatory body is set to take care of the industry and lead us towards the brighter future. Most of those decisions were directly cutting the revenue we used to have, right? Rightly so, wrongly so, but this is the reason of decline. Insufficient spectrum policy. Spectrum is the biggest asset for telecom industry, and unfortunately, spectrum is laid on the shelf where government could monetize it. We as operators always interested to buy and pay for the spectrum, and it's capped or not available currently. So I think that could be managed better. Number 5 is obviously missed investment opportunities. There are so many countries around, including India again, and Bangladesh and many others, where foreign big investors would like to come to the market and do business, right? That international expertise in telecom sector is very important, and my colleague here can confirm that. So we lost a lot of investment opportunities, and sometimes, I don't know if Nepal is putting a lot more effort to attract the international foreign direct investment. it became more tax-centric, which is not necessarily the good indication for the foreign investors to come and feel secure in the market, right? And last but not the least, we as telecom operators, we are responsible for this. We're also responsible. I think we could do better in communicating, we could do better in engaging, and that's what we're trying to do now. We are trying to communicate better with the leaders and the government. Specifically on ISP, you guys are not doing good either, because we have about 75 ISPs here. Most of them are loss-making businesses, except maybe one or two who are leading. It is on age to collapse as well, and I'm sure Subishi knows it better than I do. So it's not better. The thing is, these are 6 reasons, as I told you. It is a long, long answer to the short question, which is a bit more complicated. Sorry for taking long.
Thank you, Jabor. The traffic signal that I'm receiving is that I need to stop driving now, and I need to pause here. So we will move on to the next session.
I'm sorry. There was a second question. 30 seconds, Madandai. I need to respect the question, right? What should be done? First, government has to support, okay? Second is we have to move to subscription-based model where the customer will get the better benefits. Third, taxes, fees, it should be not subsidy, but it should be support, right? Fifth, we talk to the regulation or acts or law has to change. Last but not the least, you know, in Ansel, 2029 is still there. I'm struggling as a CEO of the company to convince my shareholders, right, to invest into 5G and 6Gs because the return has to be there and some clarity on what is happening after 2029 should be there. Simple.
Thank you. We might have a very happy Ansel CEO in 2029 in this same platform. So look forward to that. I think I should pause here. The traffic signal I'm receiving is that I need to move on. The next driver has to come onto the stage now. I think we had a very engaging and fruitful discussion. I would summarize that discussion that we had in one term, GOAD, greatest of all discussion. Thank you very much, our panel members. And I will now hand over this mic to Sugarikaji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to our wonderful moderator along with the panelists. Thank you very much for your time, effort, and insightful discussion on the very important session. We're now giving away the token of love to all our panelists along with the moderator. May I call on stage the chairman of New Business East, Mr. Madan Lamsal. Can we also have token of loves on stage as well? Please bring the token of love. Thank you very much. We're starting a token of love distribution from Honorable Gagan Thapa, Member of Parliament and General Secretary of Nepali Congress. Thank you very much for your time, insight, and expertise with us today. Picture is also important, Madan sir. Can we have both of you in front of the stage? Thank you one more time. We're moving towards Ms. Maushami Shrestha, Executive Director of Srinagar Group of Companies. Equally thankful for her time, effort, and insights. One more time. Our third panelist, Mr. Bala Krishna Joshi, tech entrepreneur and founder of Leapfrog Technologies. Thank you very much, Hazar. Thank you very much, Mr. Joshi, one more time. And our fourth panelist, Mr. Jabor Kayumov, CEO of Ansel. Thank you one more time. And to our captain of the session, our moderator, Mr. Semanta Dahal, advocate and partner of Avinav Law Chambers. Thank you very much. Shall we click a group picture together with the chairperson of NBA, please? A group picture together might make sense here. a very engaging, thought-provoking discussion we've just witnessed by these wonderful personalities on stage. Thank you very much one more time on behalf of the organizing committee and the organizers. We're exactly on our agenda time, so no worries with the time limit. I think we're absolutely very, very fine on the timing. At this point of time, our chief guest of the event, Honorable Damodar Bhandari, Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies, is in rush to attend another meeting, so we're now listening to his remarks on the very moment.
कार्यक्रमका अध्यक्ष, कार्यक्रमका अतिथि, नेपाली कांग्रेसका महामन्त्री आदरणीय मान्य गगन थापाज्यू, राष्ट्रिय योजना आयोगका उपाध्यक्षज्यू, पूर्व सचिवज्यू, मञ्चासीन आदरणीय व्यक्तित्वहरू, व्यवसायी साथीहरू, NewBiz Conclave अवार्ड 2025 को यो महत्त्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रममा आयोजना गरिएको यो बहस, यो छलफल, यसको सान्दर्भिकता र यसको महत्त्व आजका मुद्दाहरूमा, विशेषतः नेपालको अर्थतन्त्र, नेपालको पुँजी बजारलाई कसरी चलायमान बनाउने, यो लामो यात्रा यो संस्थाले आयोजना गर्दै आइरहेको छ। 2013 बाट सुरु गरिएको नेपालका व्यवसायहरू, सरोकारवालाहरू बीचको यो संवाद अत्यन्त महत्त्वपूर्ण छ। मूलतः 2072 सालको भूकम्पको सन्दर्भ या कोभिड-19 महामारी जस्ता गम्भीर सङ्कटका बीचमा पनि यो कन्क्लेभले हाम्रो आर्थिक जगतलाई सशक्त र कसरी व्यवस्थित गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने बहस सुरु गरेको छ। सुधार मार्फत विकासलाई अगाडि बढाउने यसको उद्देश्यलाई यो छलफलले माथिल्लो तहका व्यक्तित्वहरूको बीचमा यसले जे निष्कर्ष निकाल्न, त्यो निष्कर्षलाई सरोकारवाला निकायहरूको बीचमा, खास गरी पनि सरकार, त्यसमा पनि उच्च तहको लिडरसिप र अहिलेको यतिखेरको यो चुनौतीलाई अवसरमा बदल्ने अहिलेको प्रमुख दलको जुन साझा सङ्कल्प छ, त्यसमा पनि अहिलेका सत्ता सम्मिलित दलको उच्च तहको नेता आएर सरकारको अहिलेको सुधार कार्ययोजना र त्यसलाई एउटा परिणाममा ल्याउने, हामी यो समयावधिभित्र यसलाई आजका चुनौतीलाई अवसरमा बदल्छौँ, त्यसका लागिको हाम्रो रोडम्याप, अहिलेको सत्ता सहकार्यको कार्ययोजना र आजका चुनौतीहरूलाई हामी यसरी सामना गर्न सक्छौँ र ती चुनौतीलाई यसरी अवसरमा बदल्छौँ, यसले महत्त्वपूर्ण निष्कर्ष निकाल्नेछ। खासमा यो अहिलेका कतिपय विषयहरू, खास नीतिगत सुधारका प्रश्नहरूमा उहाँहरू आफै बसेर सरकारलाई एउटा दिशानिर्देश गरेर कानुन सुधारको र कतिपय नीतिगत रूपमा पनि प्रारम्भमा हाम्रो पूर्व सचिव रामेश्वर खनालजी, उहाँको नेतृत्वमा बनेको आर्थिक सुधार उच्च आयोगका निष्कर्षहरू, त्यसका कतिपय बिम्बहरू हामी
अहिलेको सरकारको नीतिमा, कार्यक्रममा, बजेटमा र त्यसलाई अझ कतिपय विषयहरू आजका जे राज्यका बोजिला विषय बनेका छन् त्यसलाई हामी सुधार गरौँ, ती चिजलाई हटाउँ भनेर त्यो उच्च स्तरीय सुझाव आयोगको निष्कर्ष त्यसलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्न, खास गरी शासकीय सुधारभित्रको सुधारको पक्षलाई उहाँले जसरी इङ्कित गर्नुभएको छ, बजेटमा ती कुराहरू प्रतिबिम्बित छन् र फेरि पनि अहिले क्याबिनेटले त्यसलाई, मन्त्री परिषदले त्यसलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्ने गरी अन्तर मन्त्रालयबाट ती कुराहरू अगाडि बढेका छन्। र अर्को शासकीय सुधारमा सम्माननीय प्रधानमन्त्रीज्यूकै नेतृत्वमा जे प्रक्रियागत जटिलतामा आज मुलुक जकडिरहेको छ, त्यसबाट कसरी हामी सरलीकृत गर्ने, सेवा प्रवाहलाई, सुशासनलाई कसरी दिन सकिन्छ, त्यसमा पनि केही प्रारम्भिक कामहरूको थालनी भएको छ। कतिपय विषयहरू हाम्रा चाहिँ सरकारी संयन्त्रभित्र एउटा मन्त्रालयको कानुनलाई सुधार्ने हो भने त्यसले 10वटा दर्जनौं मन्त्रालयसँगका अन्तर सम्बन्धित कानुनहरू छन्, एक अर्कासँग परिपूरक छन्। त्यसलाई परिवर्तन नगर्दासम्म त्यो कानुन प्रभावित हुँदैन, त्यसलाई चाहेको अनुरूपको हामी बाटोमा हिँडाउन सक्दैनौँ। त्यसो भएर कतिपय सन्दर्भमा निर्ममतापूर्वक हामीले यी शासकीय सुधारभित्रका महत्त्वपूर्ण पक्षहरूलाई निर्ममतापूर्वक तिनीहरूलाई विदा गर्नुपर्नेछ, खारिजी गर्नुपर्नेछ। नयाँ खालको शासन प्रणालीभित्रको सुधारलाई अगाडि बढाउनु पर्नेछ। त्यसका लागि मूलतः अहिले केही ऐनहरू फास्ट्यागबाट आए, त्यसमा केही प्रभावहरू पनि देखिन्छन्। मूलतः यतिखेर उद्यमशीलता, नवप्रवर्तन हामीले चाहिँ अगाडि बढाउनुको लागि थुप्रै विषयहरूमा चाहिँ त्यसले प्राथमिकताका साथमा अगाडि सेवा उद्योग, हामीले अब वस्तु मात्रै होइन आइडियालाई पनि निर्यात गर्न सक्छौँ, त्यसलाई विशेष प्राथमिकतामा राखेको छ। अर्को, जहिले पनि सरकारले आफूले ल्याएको बजेट, त्यो बजेटरी प्रणालीमा चाहिँ के देखिन्छ त भन्दा अहिले 19.5 खर्बको बजेट, पुँजीगत त्यसको 20% मात्रै छ। त्यसलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्न 75%, 80% हामीले चाहिँ लगानी गर्नु परिरहेको छ, त्यसलाई पनि 100%मा पुग्न सकेका छैन। र अर्को, सरकारको नीति, बजेट, विनियोजित ऐनले समग्र नेपालको पुँजी बजारलाई चलायमान गर्न सकेन अहिले। त्यसले यसलाई चाहिँ अहिलेको बजेटमा, नीतिमा, अहिलेका कानुन जे कुरामा सम्बोधन गर्यो या अहिलेको अध्यादेश मार्फत जे विषय आयो, त्यसले नेपाली पुँजी बजारलाई विशेष गरी सम्बोधन गरेको छ। हामीले PPP मोडलबाट अब नेपालको आन्तरिक पुँजीलाई पनि प्रवर्धन गरौँ, बाह्य पुँजीलाई पनि आकर्षण गरौँ। हामीले 3वटा लगानी सम्मेलन आयोजना गऱ्यौँ, तर 3वटा लगानी सम्मेलनबाट अपेक्षाकृत परिणाम आएन। किन भन्दा हाम्रा थुप्रै चिजहरूले त्यसलाई चाहेर पनि अगाडि बढ्न नसक्ने खालको स्थिति थियो। त्यसैले अहिले सार्वजनिक निजी साझेदारी मोडालिटीबाट हामीले केही कुराहरूलाई अगाडि बढाउन खोजिएको छ। त्यसका लागि थुप्रै विषयहरू बजेटमा सम्बोधन भएका छन्। यो नीतिगत सुधार हुँदाखेरि त्यसका केही सकारात्मक सन्देशहरू प्रभाव हुँदो रहेछ। आज नेपालको उद्योग क्षेत्रमा नेपालको GDPमा कुनै बेला 13%, 15%सम्म कन्ट्रिब्युट थियो भने आज त्यो 5%मा खुम्चिएको छ। त्यो हाम्रो सम्भावनाको क्षेत्र हो। आज जसरी दैलेखमा हामीले हाम्रो प्राकृतिक स्रोत साधनबाट जे चिजको सम्भावना त्यसले देखायो, क्रमशः हामीले हाम्रो उद्यमशीलता, हाम्रो स्रोत साधनको अधिकतम उपयोग गर्ने कुरा र हाम्रो आयातलाई प्रतिस्थापन गर्ने कुरा, आन्तरिक उत्पादन वृद्धि गर्ने कुरा, यसलाई चाहिँ अहिलेको बजेटले अधिकतम रूपमा सम्बोधन गरेको छ। र यसलाई अझ व्याप्त निराशालाई चिर्नको लागि एउटा आशा र सम्भावना विभिन्न क्षेत्रमा गोर्यो भने देखिँदो रहेछ। त्यसका लागि छन् विभिन्न खालका। हाम्रो त प्रणाली कस्तो छ भन्दा राज्य प्रणाली वितरणमुखी भयो। अहिलेसम्म यति धेरै दायित्व, यति धेरै पछिल्ला अघिल्ला चाहिँ सरकारका दायित्वहरू पुरा गर्न कठिन छ। अर्थतन्त्रमा सीमित स्रोत साधन छ, तर त्यसलाई अघि महामन्त्रीज्यूले भन्नुभयो वैकल्पिक वित्त कोष। अब हामी सबै पुँजीलाई एकीकृत गरेर लगानीका क्षेत्रहरूलाई सम्बोधन गर्न। पुँजी नभएर हो र? अहिले पनि वित्तीय संस्थाहरूसँग पुँजी थुप्रिएर बसिहाल्छ। ब्याङ्कहरूमा हेर्नुभयो भने ब्याज दर चाहिँ एक अङ्कमा झरेको छ। कुनै बेला नेपाली व्यवसायहरूले ठुलो ब्याज दरको सामना गर्नु परिरहेको थियो। आज त्यो चाहिँ एक अङ्कमा झर्दा पनि पुँजी परिचालन भएन। त्यसैले अहिलेको खास गरी निजी क्षेत्र व्यवसायहरूको मोरल बिल्डअप गर्न, उत्साहित गरेर, भरोसा दिलाएर राज्य तपाईँहरूको साथमा छ, हामी सहकार्य गरेर सरकारले व्यवसायहरूलाई फरक नजरबाट, नजरियाबाट हेर्ने या व्यवसायहरूले सरकारलाई फरक किसिमले बुझ्ने कुरालाई अन्त गरेर अब सरकार, निजी क्षेत्र, व्यवसाय, हामीले सरकारले सुधार गर्नुपर्ने क्षेत्रहरू खास गरी नीतिमा व्यवसायहरूको माग के हो त भन्दाखेरि राज्यले हामीलाई नीतिमा सहुलियत दियोस्, प्रणालीभित्रको सुधार होस्। त्यो भयो भने निजी क्षेत्र उत्साहित हुन्छ। त्यसका लागि केही कमिटमेन्टहरू छन्, केही सङ्कल्पहरू छन् र साथसाथै यसलाई हामीले अहिलेको सेसन, संसदको अधिवेशन र त्यसमा नीति कार्यक्रम बजेटलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्नुपर्ने छ र अहिलेको नेपाली अर्थतन्त्रलाई गतिशील बनाउनु पर्ने छ, पुँजी बजारलाई चलायमान बनाउनु छ। त्यसका लागि अहिलेका यस्ता फोरमहरूबाट अझ बोध गर्ने गरी जे तहमा यहाँ छलफल भयो, बहस भयो, फेरि पनि बहस होला, यसले सरकारलाई जिम्मेवार बनाउने कुरा, राज्य प्रणालीलाई जिम्मेवार बनाउने कुरामा महत्त्वपूर्ण भूमिका निर्वाह गर्नेछ। मैले कुरा राखेर आजको यो छलफल, यो कन्क्लेभले यसका निष्कर्षहरूलाई हामी आफ्नो तहबाट, सरकारको तहबाट यसलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्ने कुरामा महत्त्वपूर्ण साबित हुनेछ। आमन्त्रण गर्नुभयो, न्यानो आतिथ्य दिनुभयो, केही कुरा राख्ने र केही कुरा सुन्ने अवसर प्राप्त भयो। आयोजकलाई विशेष आभार व्यक्त गर्दै आफ्ना अन्त्य गर्छु। धन्यवाद।
कार्यक्रमका प्रमुख अतिथि माननीय मन्त्रीज्यूलाई आफ्नो समय व्यवस्थापनको लागि र सम्बोधनको लागि हामी हार्दिक धन्यवाद ज्ञापन गर्न चाहन्छौँ। Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for your insightful remarks. Now the last remarks would be by our very special guest, Professor Dr. Shivaraj Adhikari, Vice Chairman of National Planning Commission. Meanwhile, our chief guest is about to leave. Let's bid him farewell at the very moment. Thank you very much one more time. For now, may I request Professor Dr. Shivaraj Adhikari on the dais for his special remarks.
धन्यवाद। इभिडेन्सले कस्तो देखाउने रहेछ भने जुन भाषामा सपना देख्छ त्यही भाषामा बोल्यो भने मोर इनोभेटिभ हुन्छ अरे। द्याट इज वाइ आई एम गोइङ टु टक इन नेपाली। यस कार्यक्रमका अध्यक्षज्यू, प्रमुख अतिथि मन्त्रीजी गइसक्नु भएको छ। मलाई आर्गुमेन्ट मनपर्ने र सँगै कतिपय बेलामा काम गर्नु पनि पाएको महामन्त्रीज्यू यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ, त्यो हिसाबले पनि खुसी छु। र सम्पूर्ण सचिवज्यूहरू हुनुहुन्छ र विशेषतः जागिर, हामी त जागिर खाने पर्यो, जागिर खुवाउनेहरूलाई विशेष धन्यवाद दिँदै म यो कुरा चाहिँ सुरु गर्न चाहन्छु। आजको जुन टपिक्स छ त्यो टपिक्सको हिसाबले विशेष धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। रिफर्मको कुरा उठाउनु भएको छ। हामी एनपिसीमा रिफर्मको कुरा अहिले यो अघि महामन्त्रीज्यूले भने जस्तै हामी एनपिसीले पनि रिफर्मको कामै गर्न खोजिरहेको छ। अहिले बजेटमा पनि रिफर्मको कुरालाई बढी हाइलाइट गरेको हो। कति गरियो, कति गरिएन, के गर्नु पर्थ्यो, त्यसमा चाहिँ व्यापक क्वेसन छन्। अझै इफोर्ट्स लगाउनु पर्थ्यो, त्यसमा छ। तर कम्तीमा डिरेक्सन कता चेन्ज भएको छ भन्ने कुराले चाहिँ म्याटर गर्छ भन्ने लाग्छ मलाई। पहिलो। दोस्रो, रिफर्म फर वाट, के को लागि चाहियो त्यो रिफर्म, कसको लागि चाहिएको, टु होम एन्ड टु हाउ, यो तीनवटा क्वेसन चाहिँ रिफर्मसित रिलेटेड छन् भन्ने लाग्छ मलाई। अघि के रिफर्म गर्ने भन्न अघि महामन्त्रीज्यूले पनि भन्नुभयो, सरकारले विशेषतः कानुनको कुरामा, बोटलनेकको कुरामा कहीँ न कहीँ त्यहाँ चाहिँ जटिलताहरू छन्, त्यसलाई रिफर्म गर्नु पर्यो, त्यसलाई चाहिँ फोकस गरौँ भन्ने भइरहेछ। त्यो एउटा पार्ट। त्यो बाहेक अरू धेरै रहेछन्। इन्स्टिट्युसन रिफर्म हाम्रा कति અહીં पनि कुरा आएको थियो हामीसित। बिहेभियरल यति क्रोनिक छ, यति सिस्टेमिक छ, जुन यति झेलिया छन्। एउटा एक्जाम्पलै दिन्छु नि, अहिले भर्खरै हामी योजना आयोगमा 3 करोडलाई चाहिँ एकदम स्ट्रिक्टली लागू गरौँ है भन्यौँ। लागू गऱ्यौँ पनि त्यति मात्र होइन, इन्ट्री गर्दा होइन 3 करोडभन्दा तलको अङ्क राख्नै नमिल्ने बनाएछौँ हामी प्रोजेक्ट ब्याङ्कमा। बनाएछौँ, अहिले पनि छ। तर के हो, एलएमएसमा जाँदाखेरिमा जुन यताबाट जाने हो अर्को बाटो जाँदा 1000 को पनि राखियो। तर हामी पनि अलिअलि चलाख गऱ्यौँ। चलाखी के गरियो भने यो जब अलिअलि थाहा पाइयो, थाहा पाएपछि हामी आफै योजना आयोगले ड्राफ्ट गरेर अर्थमन्त्रीज्यूलाई ल यो बुँदा राख्नु पर्यो है भनेर हामी चाहिँ विनियोजन ऐनमा 12औं बुँदामा के गरेका छौँ भन्दा फेरि प्रोजेक्ट ब्याङ्कमा इन्ट्री नगरिकन कार्यान्वयन जान नमिल्ने र इन्ट्री गर्न मिल्ने भनेको छौँ अहिले। र जति अब चाहिँ के हो भन्दा चलाखी कस्तो गर्नुपर्ने छ, एक किसिमको चलाखी भयो भने अर्को बाटो थुन्नुपर्ने रहेछ। त्यो हुनाले अब हामी जब चाहिँ यो राष्ट्रिय सभाबाट पारित हुन्छ त्यसपछि हामी प्रोजेक्ट ब्याङ्कको चाहिँ जुन विन्डो खोल्छौँ र फेरि चाहिँ मन्त्रालयहरूले इन्ट्री गर्नुपर्छ र 3 करोडभन्दा कमको इन्ट्री गर्नै मिल्दैन फेरि पनि, र त्यसपछि कार्यान्वयनमा जाने हो। त्यो हुनाले जुन किसिमको चाहिँ अहिले मिडियामा आएछ त्यो कुरा होइन, हामी यसरी नै गएका छौँ। जुन ऐनमा चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ सांसदहरूले चाहिँ जुन सपोर्ट गर्नुभएको छ त्यसको लागि विशेष धन्यवाद। त्यो रिफर्मको पार्ट चाहिँ कहिलेकाहीँ के भन्दा सिधाले नजाने रहेछ, त्यो चाहिँ बनाएको छौँ। त्यस हुनाले यो काम चाहिँ अलिकता हामी पनि चलाखीपूर्ण काम गरे हो होइन। अनि यस्ता पार्टहरू क्रोनिक चाहिँ पार्टहरू छन्। के 3 करोड चाहिँ ठुलो बिग चेन्ज हो? होइन, त्यही 3 करोडले कति चाहिँ गाह्रो रहेछ भन्ने कुरो दुईवटा इन्डिकेटर पनि हो। त्यो त्यति गर्नलाई पनि हामीलाई गाह्रो रहेछ। त्यसको इम्प्याक्ट चाहिँ के भन्दा होइन, प्रदेशतिर पनि 1 करोडको हिसाबले गयो। हामी त्योभन्दा अगाडि हामी के गरेका छौँ, 2-4वटा चाहिँ मैले रिफर्मको कुरामा चाहिँ अलिकता सेयर गर्न चाहेँ। योजना आयोगले रिफर्म कसरी गर्ने, के गर्ने, पोलिटिसियनहरूलाई एकदम कन्भिन्स गर्न गाह्रो हुन्छ भन्ने कुरो सोचिरहेको थियो, बुझिरहेको थियो। तर बिचमा के थाहा भयो भने हामीले जब इभिडेन्स निकाल्छौँ तब पोलिटिसियनहरूलाई सजिलै कन्भिन्स गर्न मिल्ने रहेछ, सकिने रहेछ भन्ने कुरो हामी चाहिँ पहिलो इन्डिकेटर के थियो भन्दा हामी समपूरक जुन योजना आयोगले चाहिँ हामी इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन गर्थ्यौँ, समपूरक आयोजनाहरूमा हेर्दा सिम्पल के थियो भन्दा पालिकाहरूले 50% राख्नु पर्थ्यो कुनै चाहिँ प्रोजेक्टको इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेभलपमेन्टको लागि। अनि त्यो 50% पालिकाले राखेपछि 50% चाहिँ केन्द्रबाट थपिन्थ्यो। पालिकाहरूको चाहिँ ऱ्याङ्किङ हेर्दै हो भने उनीहरूको रिसोर्सको चाहिँ जुन मोबिलाइजेसन गर्ने क्यापासिटी चाहिँ एकदम अनइक्वल थियो। 50% इक्वल भयो। अनइक्वल बिच इक्वल ट्रिटमेन्ट गरेपछि त इनइक्वालिटी बढ्यो नि। त्यसो भएको हुनाले हामीले के गर्यौँ भन्दा पालिकाहरूको ऱ्याङ्किङ गऱ्यौँ। ऱ्याङ्किङ गरिसकेपछि 80-20 को हिसाबले लग्यौँ। 80% चाहिँ पुवर पालिका, रिसोर्स मोबिलाइजेसन गर्ने हिसाबले पुवर, तर इफोर्ट्सको हिसाबले बढी। के भन्ने रहेछ भने पालिका जस्तै कर्णालीकै एक्जाम्पल दिउँ, इफोर्ट्स दिनभरि काम गऱ्यो भने त्यही 1 दिन खान पुग्छ। इफोर्ट्स 1 दिन खानको लागि बढी तिर्नु पऱ्यो। काठमाडौँमा 1 दिन काम गऱ्यो भने 1 हप्ता खान पुग्छ। इफोर्ट्सको हिसाबले तिनीहरूले पे बढी इफोर्ट्स गरेका छन्, इन्कमको हिसाबले फरक हो। त्यो हुनाले इफोर्ट्स र इन्कम इक्वल होइन भन्ने हिसाबले पनि बुझ्यौँ। त्यसपछि ऱ्याङ्किङ गरिसकेपछि दुईवटा चाहिँ टुल्स थियो। एउटा के भयो भन्दा त्यो ऱ्याङ्किङले चाहिँ 80-20 को हिसाबले गर्दा जति चाहिँ पालिकाहरू चाहिँ जली रिसोर्स चाहिँ मोबिलाइजेसनमा पुअर थिए उनीहरूले पहिला कतिले जिरो पैसै नभएको हुनाले अप्लाई गरेकै थिएनन्। अहिले सबैभन्दा बढी उनीहरूको आयो हैन, बढी अप्लाई भयो इन टर्म्स अफ एमाउन्ट, इन टर्म्स अफ प्रोजेक्ट डिमान्ड दुवै हिसाबले। र हामीले चाहिँ यो कुरा चाहिँ सबै सांसदजीहरूलाई ल हामी यसरी चेन्ज गरेका छौँ है भनेर हामी सबै सांसदजीहरूलाई, अनफर्चुनेटली कतिपय चाहिँ होइन सिनियर लिडरहरूलाई टाइम भएन होला हामीले भनेको टाइममा, त्यो चाहिँ लगभग चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ 80% सांसदजीहरूलाई चाहिँ हामी त्यो टाइम 3 दिन चाहिँ हामीले गरेर त्यो सबै सेयर गरेका थियौँ। त्यति मात्रै होइन, हामी यसरी सेयर गरेका थियौँ आयोजनाहरू यति धेरै रहेछन्। पहिला चाहिँ हाम्रो आयोजनाहरूको चाहिँ एनालाइसिस गर्ने टेक्निक के छ भन्दा यति प्रतिशत भौतिक प्रगति भयो, यति प्रतिशत वित्तीय प्रगति भयो भनेर मात्रै त्यो होइन। हामीले 11वटा इन्डिकेटर इन्क्लुडिङ चाहिँ को भन्दाखेरिमा हाम्रो चाहिँ जो कन्ट्र्याक्टरहरूको बिहेभियर समेत उहाँहरूको क्यारेक्टरिस्टिक्स समेत राखेर 11वटा इन्डिकेटर राखेर हामीले चाहिँ एनालाइसिस गऱ्यौँ। त्यो एनालाइसिसले के दिन्थ्यो भन्दाखेरिमा हामीलाई चाहिँ त्यो रिगरसली चाहिँ त्यो कस्तो अवस्थामा छन् त भनेर दिन्थ्यो। र हामी क्यालकुलेसन गर्दै जाँदा अब सरी टु से यही तरिकाले जाने हो भने कतिपय आयोजनाहरू 200 वर्ष लाग्ने रहेछ सिद्ध्याउन होइन। अधिकांश खानेपानी आयोजनाहरू 15 वर्ष मात्रै सिद्धिन्छन्, 15 वर्ष कम्तीमा लाग्छ। अधिकांश चाहिँ यो चाहिँ सहरीबाट हुने चाहिँ 45 वर्ष लाग्छ। सबै क्यालकुलेसन गरेर देखाएको छौँ हामी र यो छ अवस्था भनेर चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ सांसदजीहरू, मन्त्रीहरू होइन अनि सचिवजीहरू सबैले हामी गरेका छौँ। कतिपय चाहिँ हामी प्रदेशमा गएर पनि हामी त्यो सेयर गऱ्यौँ। त्यो सेयर गरिसकेपछि अलिकता चेन्ज भयो। अनि चाहिँ यही अहिलेको चाहिँ भने मैले 80-20 को पहिलो सुरुमा प्रधानमन्त्रीलाई यस्तो छ अवस्था, पालिकाहरूको ऱ्याङ्किङ यस्तो छ, यस्तो अवस्थामा हामी होइन इनइक्वालिटी बढाइरहेका छौँ, इक्वल ट्रिटमेन्ट गरेर यो रिग्रेसिभ मेथड हो भनेपछि गो हेड भन्नुभयो। त्यसपछि सिनियर लिडरहरूसित मैले राखेँ। अनफर्चुनेटली महामन्त्रीज्यू त्यस दिन आउनु भएको थिएन, तर मेरो आशा थियो त्यो सबैलाई त्यो चाहिँ होइन कहीँ न कहीँ त्यहाँ सेयर गरेँ। अनि सबैले यस्तो छ भने गरिहालौँ भन्नुभयो। त्यसले चाहिँ यति सजिलो बनायो, त्यसले मलाई यति इन्करेज गर्यो कि ओहो इभिडेन्स देखायो भने त सजिलो रहेछ नि त कन्भिन्स गर्न भन्ने भयो। त्यो वेल एक्सेप्टेड भयो र अलिअलि चाहिँ जसको चाहिँ जस्तै काठमाडौँको चाहिँ 80-20 80% चाहिँ काठमाडौँले चाहिँ राख्नु पर्थ्यो र 20% केन्द्रबाट पाउँथ्यो। त्यस्तो 29वटा चाहिँ पालिकाहरू थिए। 19वटा पालिकाहरूमा मलाई के लागिरहेको थियो भने 19वटा पालिकाहरूले अरूले त चाहिँ इक्विटी चाहिँ हिसाबले हुने भयो त्यो मान्नुहुन्छ। त्यो 19वटा चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ पाइरहेको 50 पाइरहेको चाहिँ हामीलाई घट्यो भनेर अलिअलि विरोध गर्नुहुन्छ कि भन्ने लागेको थियो। यस्तो सौभाग्य चाहिँ प्राप्त भयो एनपिसीलाई अथवा हामीलाई अथवा सबैलाई। कतिपय पालिकाहरूले त सेलिब्रेसन गर्नुभयो, हामी काठमाडौँको ऱ्याङ्किङमा पुग्यौँ होइन। बुटवलले गर्यो, काँकडभित्ताले गर्यो, उनीहरूले के भन्दा 80-20 हामी त काठमाडौँको ऱ्याङ्किङमा रहेछौँ, लेट अस डु समथिङ भन्ने हिसाबले भयो। अर्को प्रिन्सिपल्ली पनि हामीलाई के फाइदा थियो फिस्कल फेडरलिजमको, म क्लासै लिन्छु पढाउँछु। फिस्कल फेडरलिजममा के हो भन्दा पालिकाहरूले आफ्नो रिसोर्स आफै मोबिलाइजेसन गर्ने क्यापासिटी बिल्ड गरिदिने हो फिस्कल फेडरलिजम भनेको। भनेपछि 80% क्यापासिटी बिल्ड भएको छ, ल तपाईँहरू लेटस गो तपाईँहरू जानुहोस् भन्ने हिसाबले भयो। त्यो वेल चाहिँ रिसिभ भयो। अनि त्यसपछि हामी चाहिँ के गऱ्यौँ पछि चाहिँ सबैको अनि हामी उसमा पनि चेन्ज गऱ्यौँ प्रदेशकोमा हामी चाहिँ कर्णालीको 70-30 70% चाहिँ केन्द्रले दिन्छ कर्णालीलाई अनि चाहिँ 30% चाहिँ कर्णालीले हाल्छ। 65% चाहिँ सुदूरपश्चिम, त्यसपछि 55% चाहिँ होइन सुदूरपश्चिमले हाल्छ। अनि तेस्रोमा चाहिँ नि मध्य प्रदेश 60-40 मध्य प्रदेशबाट यस्तो वेलकम आयो यो 60 पहिलोचोटि अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ भयो हाम्रो चाहिँ इस्युहरूलाई बल्ल राम्रोसित बुझियो भनेर एकदमै वेलकम। अहिले चाहिँ व्यापक चाहिँ मलाई म्यासेज आउँछन् र त्यसपछि त्यति मात्र होइन, गत वर्ष 0 थियो डिमान्ड होइन मध्य प्रदेशबाट, अहिले सबैभन्दा हाइएस्ट आयो भनेको बिहेभियर पनि चेन्ज गऱ्यौँ हामीले। ल है अहिले यो चाहिँ अवसरमा चाहिँ हामीले केही न केही गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने हिसाबले होइन प्रदेशको। त्यसपछि चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ जुन बागमती जसले चाहिँ 45% जति इकोनोमी चाहिँ बागमतीले क्याप्चर गर्छ, उसलाई चाहिँ 40-60 भनेको 60% बागमतीले राख्नुपर्ने, 40% केन्द्र सरकारले। यो हिसाबले चाहिँ र्याङ्किङ गरिसकेपछि सबैले चाहिँ के गर्नु भने एक्सेप्ट गर्नुभयो र सबैलाई। त्यसपछिको दोस्रो मोडालिटी हामीले सबैलाई इक्वली चाहिँ दियौँ। सबै पहिलोचोटि सबै चाहिँ मेथड अनुसार चाहिँ योजना आयोगमा छिर्न नपर्ने गरी, होइन, कोही आउनु पर्दैन, अर्कोचोटि पनि आउनु पर्दैन र आउन माग गर्ने होइन। अब माग गरेको विकास चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिएको छैन भन्ने हिसाबले निड बेस भनेर सबै पालिकाहरूले, सबै प्रदेशहरूले समपूरक र विशेष पाउने गरी हामीले डिजाइन गऱ्यौँ र सबैले पाउनु भएको छ। त्यो हिसाबले त्यो चाहिँ र्याङ्किङमा चाहिँ गरेका छौँ। हामीले पनि गरेका छैनौँ। अझै चाहिँ त्यहाँनिर अझै अहिले इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुरा गर्न चाहेँ। एक दुईवटा चाहिँ पालिकाहरू अथवा 8-10वटा पालिकाहरूले चाहिँ के भन्नुभयो भने हामीले यो नराखेको योजना पारिदिनुहुन्छ तपाईँहरूले भन्नुभयो। त्यसपछि मैले फाइन्ड आउट गरेँ कहाँ हुन्छ त यो, यस सालको होइन गत वर्षको, कहाँ हुन्छ भनेर खोज्दै गएको के हुने रहेछन् त्यो डिमान्ड बेस हो। जसले चाहिँ इन्ट्री गर्ने हो, इन्ट्री गर्ने बेलामा त्यहीँको चाहिँ साथीहरूले के गर्नुहुन्छ भने 12 बजीसम्म म्याद हुने, 10 बजीतिर चाहिँ सब्मिट गरेकोलाई चाहिँ होइन डाउनलोड गर्यो, त्यसपछि अर्को गर्ने रहेछ। कसले भन्दा त्यहीँको आइटीको पर्सनले त्यो आइडेन्टिफाई भयो। त्यो आइडेन्टिफाई भएपछि किन त्यसो गर्ने भन्दाखेरि को भन्दा त्यहीँको लोकल लिडर भन्दा पनि अलि त्योभन्दा माथिको लिडरसित भन्यो भने त उसको पावर अझै बढ्यो नि त। पावर चाहिँ सित चाहिँ उसले सब्मिसन गर्ने रहेछ, त्यो थाहा भयो। त्यो अधिकांश चाहिँ कर्णालीमा रहेछ, होइन। हामी त्यो आइडेन्टिफाई गरेपछि अहिले के गर्यो, तिनवटा अझै चाहिँ कार्यकारीले चाहिँ सही गर्नुपर्ने, अनि पालिकाबाट चाहिँ कार्यकारी चाहिँ त्यो होइन निर्णय नै हुनुपर्ने, र त्यसपछि चाहिँ के हुनु भने प्रमुखले पनि सही गर्यो। तिनवटा कम्तीमा त्यो डकुमेन्ट भएपछि मात्रै हुने भएपछि अहिले त्यो प्रब्लम 0 भयो। त्यस्तो प्रब्लम केही आएन। त्यो हिसाबले चाहिँ ठिक भयो, होइन। त्यो हुनाले म यतातिर मैले एक्जाम्पल मैले टाइमको कुरा अलिअलि बुझिरहेको छु। त्यो हुनाले अब क्वेसन के आयो भने हामी रिफर्ममा लागेका छौँ अहिले। रिफर्मको अब के त, योजना आयोगले ल यति गरेर रहेछ, यसलाई ठुलो मान्ने होइन। हामी चाहिँ जसरी चाहिँ अहिले महामन्त्रीजीले भन्नुभएको छ त्यसरी नै अब हामी यन्ड्याक गर्दैछौँ। यन्ड्याकमा चाहिँ अहिलेको डेभलपमेन्ट मोडेल काम गरेन भन्ने हिसाबले हामी गरेका छौँ, होइन। यो डेभलपमेन्ट मोडेल चाहिँ होइन चेन्ज गर्नुपर्छ। वी निड टु थिङ्क द डेभलपमेन्ट मोडेल, रिथिङ्क गर्नै पऱ्यो। यो मोडेलले काम गर्दैन, कहीँ न कहीँ चेन्ज गर्नुपर्छ। त्यो चेन्ज गर्ने भनेको के हो त, दुइटैमा पब्लिक सेक्टर प्राइभेट सेक्टर बोथ दुवैमा एफिसियन्सी ल्याउने। रिफर्म भनेको एफिसियन्सी ल्याउने हो, रिफर्म भनेको इफिसियन्सी ल्याउने हो। त्यो दुवैमा इफिसियन्सी ल्याउनलाई हामी के गर्न सक्छौँ, त्यसमा फिस्कल पोलिसी, मोनिटरी पोलिसी र त्यसलाई चाहिँ दुवैको कुरा आयो। प्लस चाहिँ के हो भन्दा हामीले जुन किसिमका चाहिँ मोडालिटी लेट अस डु समथिङ, र अब अघि चाहिँ कुरा आएको थियो अल्टरनेटिभ फाइनेन्सिङको कुरा। अल्टरनेटिभ फाइनेन्सिङ पनि कानुन बनाएर मात्रै त हुन्न। त्यसको लागि के गर्नु पऱ्यो भन्दा अहिलेको प्रोजेक्टहरू, एक्जिस्टिङ प्रोजेक्टहरूलाई हामीले लो ह्याङ्गिङ फ्रुट्सको रूपमा लिएर, जुन चाहिँ के हो भन्दा हामीले कन्ट्र्याक्ट आउट गरिसकेका छौँ, त्यसलाई चाहिँ अहिले प्रत्येकको चाहिँ के गरेर रहेछन् भने हाम्रो टेक्निक चाहिँ हेर्दै जाँदा डिपिआर बनाउँदा पनि आइआर क्यालकुलेसन गर्ने एकदम रफ। म इकोनोमिस्ट भएको, त्यो क्यालकुलेसन गर्न जान्ने भएको हुनाले अहिले के गरिरहेको छु भन्दा त्यसमा रिफर्म हेरेर चाहिँ रियल्ली चाहिँ प्रोजेक्ट भाइबल छ कि छैन सबै आइडेन्टिफाई गर्दैछु। सब प्रोजेक्टहरूको आइडेन्टिफाई गरिसकेपछि लेट अस डु समथिङ, मेबी प्राइभेट सेक्टर अथवा के हो, सोकेसमा कसरी राख्न सकिन्छ, के हुन्छ, त्यसको भ्यालुएसन कसरी हुन्छ, के छ, अथवा चाहिँ भाइबल छ कि छैन, त्यो क्यालकुलेसन गरिरहेछौँ। यदि क्यालकुलेसन गर्न सम्भव भयो भने अहिले रिसोर्स चाहिँ हामी जति छ त्यो रिसोर्सलाई अर्को च्यानलबाट लिएर आएर भए पनि इन्भेस्ट गर्न सकिन्छ। रिसोर्सको प्रब्लम होइन, अहिले आइडियाको प्रब्लम हो, अहिले चाहिँ मेथडको प्रब्लम हो। त्यो हुनाले रिसोर्स छ हामीसित, त्यो हिसाबले लिनुपर्छ भन्ने हिसाबले हामी अगाडि बढेका छौँ। र यसमा चाहिँ मलाई लाग्छ कहीँ न कहीँ हामी चाहिँ अब पोलिटिकल लिडरहरूबाट पनि यो किसिमको सपोर्ट आएको छ। हामी टेक्निकल्ली चाहिँ सपोर्ट गर्दै जाने हो। त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामी कहीँ न कहीँ काम गर्छौँ भन्ने लाग्छ र आशा गरौँ, होइन। योजना आयोगले पनि कसिरहेको छ, त्यो हिसाबले कन्फर्म छ। योजना आयोगलाई अरू कुनै इन्ट्रेस्ट छैन र के पनि छैन भन्दा योजना आयोग सायद पहिलोचोटि होला योजना आयोग आफ्नो इन्ट्रेस्टमा कुनै प्रोजेक्ट राखेको छैन अहिले, होइन। कुनै प्रोजेक्ट राखेको छैन र त्यो इन्ट्रेस्टबाट होइन, प्रायोरिटीको बेसमा चाहिँ गरेका छौँ हामीले। त्यो हुनाले त्यो चाहिँ अर्को सालदेखि सांसदज्यूहरू जुन चाहिँ त्यो छ उहाँहरूको चाहिँ प्रायोरिटीमा चाहिँ दिने हो, त्यसमा मोडेल बनाउनु प्रयत्न गर्छु, होइन। गरिरहेको छु, मैले भइसकेको थियो, तर अहिले छोटो समयमा चाहिँ कन्भिन्स गर्न धेरै सकिएन। त्यो हुनाले यो चाहिँ लेभलबाट होइन, अर्को लेभलबाट चाहिँ हामी के गर्ने हो, नेक्स्ट लेभलको रिफर्मको लागि चाहिँ हामीले ग्राउन्ड क्रिएट गर्छौँ। त्यो बिहेभियरसित पनि छन्, कति के छन्, त्यसलाई चाहिँ हेर्दै जाउँ। यो हिसाबले चाहिँ म અહીંको चाहिँ अब महामन्त्रीजीको चाहिँ सुन्दा म अझै एक्साइटेड भएँ। रियल्ली हैन त्यो हिसाबको चाहिँ भएको हुनाले लेट अस वर्क टुगेदर हामी सबै काम गर्ने हो सँगै गर्ने हो र ग्रोथको लागि चाहिँ जहिले पनि चाहिँ प्राइभेट सेक्टरै हो त्यसको लागि क्वेसनै छैन प्राइभेट सेक्टरले चाहिँ गर्ने भएको हुनाले त्यसको लागि रिफर्म गर्ने तर प्राइभेट सेक्टर चाहिँ भन्ने हिसाबले त्यो पनि के पनि हैन भने सबै चीज चाहिँ कहीं न कहीं प्राइभेट सेक्टरको इफिसियन्सी चाहिँ कहिलेकाहीँ लुज भए हुन्छ त्यो चाहिँ इफिसियन्सीले चाहिँ लुज हुन दिनु पनि भएन त्यहाँ चाहिँ अलिकता सोच्नुपर्छ भन्ने लाग्छ धेरै कुरा छन् कामहरू गर्नुपर्ने हो भन्ने भन्दा काम गर्ने धेरै छन् अवसर दिनुभएको छ यही कुरा भए पनि तपाईहरुसित शेयर गर्न पाएँ र त्यो भन्दा पनि मलाई चाहिँ जुन किसिमको चाहिँ सोचिराखेको थियो गरिराखेको थियो यो कन्फिडेन्स यो मासबाट यो चाहिँ हैन यहाँबाट जुन फिडब्याक भयो त्यसको लागि विशेष आभार व्यक्त गर्छु र यहाँहरुले जुन अवसर दिनुभएको छ त्यसको लागि विशेष धन्यवाद हस् नमस्कार
हाम्रा विशेष अतिथि Professor Dr. Shivaraj Adhikari, Vice Chair of National Planning Commission. Thank you very much for your remarks on the August gathering. With that, we conclude the first part of today's program. Thank you all for the participation. Now, let's move on to the second part of the event, which is the New Biz Awards ceremony. So welcome to the New Biz Awards ceremony, which is brought to us by Asian Paints, supported by our esteemed partners, Asian Paints, Curve EV, Global IME Bank, Asian Life Insurance, NIMBA's Capital, Rashtriya Banditya Bank, Deposit and Credit Guarantee Fund, Assurance Incorporation, Green Valley Resort Shivapuri, NLG Insurance, Phone Pay, Nepal Airlines, King's College, Subisu, Jawlakhel Group of Industries, Godavari Steels, Vogue Events, and Space 4K TV. Now, before we move forward, let's take a moment to revisit the highlights from last year's awards.
Asian Paints presents 9th NewBiz Conclave and Business Excellence Awards 2025. Theme: Driving Growth Through Reforms. Awards in 10 different categories. Driven by Curve EV, Life Insurance Partner, Asian Life Insurance Company Limited, Private Equity Partner, NIMB Ace Capital Limited, Banking Partner, Global IME Bank Limited, supported by NLG Insurance Company Limited, Green Valley Resort, Shivapuri, Rashtriya Banditya Bank Limited, Assurance Incorporation Management Service Private Limited, PhonePe Payment Service Limited, Deposit and Credit Guarantee Fund, Nepal Airlines Corporation, King's College, Architecting Future,
Godavari Steels,
Internet Partner, Subisu, Event managed by Vogue Ad and Event Management.
We just revisited the highlights from last year's awards and this year's awards yet to be witnessed. But before we move further, we have TVCs of some of our sponsors. Because we have so many sponsors with us today, we definitely need to watch a few TVCs.
Asian Paints presents 9th NewBiz Conclave and Business Excellence Awards 2025. Theme: Driving Growth Through Reforms. Awards in 10 different categories. Driven by Curve EV, Life Insurance Partner, Asian Life Insurance Company Limited, Private Equity Partner, NIMB Ace Capital Limited, Banking Partner, Global IME Bank Limited, supported by NLG Insurance Company Limited, Green Valley Resort, Shubhapuri, Rashtriya Banijya Bank Limited, Assurance Incorporation Management Service Private Limited, PhonePe Payment Service Limited, Deposit and Credit Guarantee Fund, Nepal Airlines Corporation, King's College, Architecting Future,
Godavari Steels,
Internet Partner, Subisu, event managed by Vogue Ad and Event Management.
यो डाक्टर नवीन को सधैँ नयाँ चमकदार देखिने घर जसको सबै छिमेकीले गुनासो मात्रै गर्छ कसैको नयाँ घर हेरेर घाँटी बाँधिएको गुनासो सबै हैरान आए लिएर गुनासोको चाम
छोरा जन्मिदा घरमा एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन लगाएको त्यति नै हो
एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
TV.
पोखरा. Thank you. So आरामसँग book your flight anytime with Global Smart Plus.
Global IME Bank, सबैका लागि बैंक.
After the TVCs of some of our sponsors, we're now moving towards a small, not a small, but pretty much good quality of pictures on the screen. These pictures are the collaborative pictures of this year's award jury process pictures. Let's express our gratitude to the dedicated jury members who have contributed their time and expertise to the selection process. Their efforts have been instrumental in identifying the best corporate achievers in various categories this year. The honorees tonight have been chosen through a rigorous jury process involving detailed research and discussions. Each category had its own independent jury, ensuring a thorough evaluation of all the nominees. Without further ado, let's commence with the first set of awards. Starting with our first set of award is Best Managed General Insurance Company Award 2025. We're starting with the jury one more time. And the award criteria is on the screen one more time. All right, that sums pretty much about the first category. As I mentioned earlier, very first set of award, Best Managed General Insurance Company Award. To announce the name of the winner and to give away the award to the winning organization, may I call on stage Mr. Aman Badami, CEO of Assurance Incorporation Management Services Private Limited, joined by Mr. Sunil Casey, former CEO of NMB Bank, also the jury member, and Mrs. Lata Baral Sharma, Director of Sharma and Company. May we have three of you on stage, please? And I think they definitely deserve a big round of applause, everybody. This is our first award for this evening, Best Managed General Insurance Company Award. While three of our distinguished personalities are climbing up the stage, we also request them to be together on the middle of the stage. Meanwhile, we're watching the nominees of the Best Managed General Insurance Company, which has been played on the screen. So our volunteer is here with the envelope and the microphone. Ma'am, a small information before you announce the winner's name. Oh, she's so involved.
So, Best General Insurance Company of the Year. Any guesses? It's Sagarmatha Lumbini Insurance Company Limited. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Sagarmatha Lumbini Insurance Company Limited. And we have a video of the winner as well.
Lumbini General Insurance Company Limited, एकीकरण भई सगरमाथा लुम्बिनी इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनी लिमिटेड सलीको भएका छौं। सलीको विश्वासको सम्बन्ध, एकताको प्रतीक।
Congratulations to Sagarmatha Lumbini Insurance Company Limited, Salico, for bagging the Best Managed General Insurance Company of 2025. Chunky sir is on stage, receiving the award on behalf of Salico. To all the award winners, let me very kindly remind you that we've placed a mark on the stage so that pictures come nice. Picture is very important. So please make sure you stand exactly on that very spot. Congratulations, Hazur. A managed group picture. A managed group picture is important. Let's place ourselves. Okay. Taline wasn't. No, where's the applause? Come on. Salico, Best Managed General Insurance Company of 2025. Congratulations one more time. Thank you very much to everyone on the stage. Thank you. यो भनेको बाटो अझ धेरै माथि पुग्नु छ. Congratulations. Thank you. All right. Our next set of awards is Best Managed Life Insurance Company. So Best Managed Life Insurance Company. These are the award criterias already. So may I invite on stage Mr. Shriman Karki, former Executive Director of Insurance Board, a jury chair of this particular category. Mr. Shivant Bahadur Pandey, CEO of NIMB Ace Capital Limited, and Mr. Surendra Raj Regmi, CEO of Global IME Bank Limited. May I invite 3 gentlemen on stage, please. Meanwhile, on stage, let's see the 3 best life insurance companies of 2025. We have National Life Insurance Company Limited, Nepal Life Insurance Company Limited, and Surya Jyoti Life Insurance Company Limited competing for the best life insurance companies of 2025. So,
सबैलाई नमस्कार। यो को होला गेस गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ कुन इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनी होला? प्लिज गेस। मै भनौँ? ले बेस्ट म्यानेज लाइफ इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनीमा नेसनल लाइफ इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनी। कङ्ग्रेचुलेसन नेसनल लाइफ इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनीलाई।
Congratulations to National Life Insurance Company Limited, Best Life Insurance Company of 2025. We have a video.
With over 38 years of trusted service, National Life Insurance is Nepal's leading life insurer. With a paid-up capital of 5.2 billion and a life insurance fund exceeding 81 billion rupees, it serves more than 1.5 million active policyholders nationwide. Backed by 125 plus branches, 15,000 plus agents, and a strong digital platform, National Life empowers lives while promoting women's leadership and creating over 20,000 jobs. Recognized for excellence, committed to growth, this is National Life Insurance Company Limited.
Congratulations one more time, National Life Insurance, for bagging Best Life Insurance Companies of 2025. And not to forget, a very special mark in front of the stage, Hazur. That's the picture spot for all of us on stage. Congratulations, National Life Insurance Company Limited, one more time. So a photographer here is looking for a good quality, proper group picture. Thank you very much, respected gentlemen on stage. Thank you very much. It was great having you on stage. Time for NewBiz Awards TVC along with a few sponsors video.
Asian Paints presents 9th NewBiz Conclave and Business Excellence Awards 2025. Theme: Driving Growth Through Reforms. Awards in 10 different categories. Driven by Curve EV, Life Insurance Partner, Asian Life Insurance Company Limited, Private Equity Partner, NIMB Ace Capital Limited, Banking Partner, Global IME Bank Limited, supported by NLG Insurance Company Limited, Green Valley Resort, Shubhapuri, Rashtriya Banijya Bank Limited, Assurance Incorporation Management Service Private Limited, PhonePe Payment Service Limited, Deposit and Credit Guarantee Fund, Nepal Airlines Corporation, King's College, Architecting Future,
Godavari Steels,
Internet Partner, Subisu, event managed by Vogue Ad and Event Management.
सबैको सुरक्षा एनएलजीको इच्छा एनएलजी इन्स्योरेन्स।
कसैले मुस्कुराएर हेर्नुपर्छ माया नै बसे जस्तो ठान्छौँ। कसैको पहिरन देख्न साथ यस्तो र उस्तो भन्न थाल्छौँ। हामीलाई धारणा बनाउन त कसले पो रोक्छ र? यसै गरी हाम्रो बारेमा पनि यहाँहरूले केही धारणा बनाउँदै हुनुहुन्छ वा बनाइसक्नु भएको छ भने पनि कृपया पहिला हामी कहाँ आउनुहोस्, त्यसपछि सेवा सुविधा बारे थाहा पाउनुहोस् अनि बल्ल धारणा बनाउनुहोस्। राष्ट्रिय वाणिज्य बैंक, तपाईको आफ्नै बैंक।
बिहानीले दिनको इशारा गर्दछ। प्रभातको उजेलीसँगै सटर मात्र खुल्दैनन्, अनेकौं आशा पनि जाग्दछ। पहिलो बोहनीको प्रार्थनासँगै ग्राहकलाई तपाईले दिएको आत्मीय सेवाको, तपाईको परिश्रमको र सपनाको हामी साक्षी बन्न पाएका छौँ। तपाईको हरेक पाइलाको हामी कदर गर्छौँ, किनकि फोन पे तपाईको सफलताको सहयात्री।
Thank you very much to all our sponsors. One more time, moving forward with New Business Age Business Excellence Award. We're now moving towards our third set of award, which happens to be Best Managed Finance Companies, Best Managed Development Banks, and Best Managed Commercial Banks. First, let's have a look at the pictures of the jury members and the award criteria. So we're now starting with the Best Managed Finance Companies 2025. To do the honors, may I call upon Mr. Dinesh Lal Shrestha, CEO of Asian Life Insurance, on the stage, along with Mr. Ramesh Kimire, CEO of Deposit Credit and Security Fund, and would be joined by Mr. Narottam Aryal, President of King's College, on stage, please. And on screen, you could see three best finance companies of Nepal 2025: Gueswari Merchant Bank and Finance Company Limited, ICFC Finance Limited, and Sri Investment and Finance Company Limited. Among three, let's hear who bags the title of Best Finance Companies of Nepal 2025.
Best Managed Finance Company of the Year 2025. Any guesses, please?
Sir.
Nominations?
We've already, no, there's not a video of nomination. However, I've already named them. So you could just announce the name of the winner, please.
The Best Managed Finance Company of the Year 2025 is Sri Investment and Finance Company Limited.
Congratulations to Sri Investment and Finance Company Limited for being the best finance companies of Nepal 2025. Now we would be watching the video of the winning organization.
हरेक दृढ आधारको सुरुवात एक दृष्टिकोणबाट हुन्छ। विक्रम सम्वत 2051 मा स्थापना भई श्री इन्भेस्टमेन्ट एन्ड फाइनान्स कम्पनी लिमिटेडको वित्तीय विकासको केन्द्रमा अडिएको छ विश्वास, अनुशासन र सेवाको आधारमा। यी वर्षहरूमा हामीले सपनाहरूलाई उडान दिन, समुदायहरूलाई विकास गर्न र व्यवसायहरूलाई फस्टाउन सहयोग गरेका छौं। इतिहासमा जरा गाडेर हातेमालो गरी अगाडि बढौं। श्री इन्भेस्टमेन्ट एन्ड फाइनान्स कम्पनी लिमिटेड, तपाईको विश्वासिलो वित्तीय साझेदार।
तपाईको विश्वासिलो वित्तीय साझेदार Sri Investment and Finance Company Limited. Congratulations one more time. The best finance companies of Nepal 2025 for this year. Congratulations one more time, and thank you very much, gentlemen. We're now moving to another category, which is Best Managed Development Bank of 2025. Now, to do the honors on stage, may I call upon Mr. Ramesh Kumar Hamal, former chairman of CBON, one of the jury member for these categories, CA Mr. Sujan Kumar Kafle, IPP of ICANN, another jury member, and Mr. Sunil Ballav Panta, CEO of NLG Insurance. May I have three of the gentlemen on stage, please? Let's also see the three best managed development bank 2025 are nominees. Development banks, Kamana Seva Vikas Bank Limited, Muktinath Vikas Bank Limited, and Sain Rishunga Development Bank Limited. We are still waiting for a third gentleman to arrive, but looks like he is not inside the hall, Hazur. So let's carry on. Yes, yes, yes. Sir, your microphone is not working.
Any guesses?
Yes, sir. Nobody is guessing the organization's name.
So.
Why not?
And no point in guessing as well. Best Managed Development Bank of the Year 2025 goes to Muktinath Vikas Bank Limited. Many congratulations.
Congratulations to Muktinath Vikas Bank, the best development bank of 2024. Before we see our CEO on stage, let's watch the video of the winning bank.
सजिलो छ टिक्न नेपालमै उद्यम गरौँ व्यापार गरौँ अवसर स्वदेशमै छ उन्नति र समृद्धिको ढोका यही खुल्छ सिपबुद्धि अनुभवको सदुपयोग गरौँ योजनाको खाका बनाई अब अघि बढौँ मुक्तिनाथ विकास बैंकले सधैँ साथ दिन्छ देशमै अवसर खोज्नेहरूका लागि मुक्तिनाथ विकास बैंकको साथ साना व्यापार व्यवसाय गर्न चाहनेका लागि सुलभ कर्जाको सुविधा जनता बैंकमा हैन बैंक जनतामा जानु पर्दछ मुक्तिनाथ विकास बैंक सधैँ यही भन्छ
Muktinath Vikas Bank le sadai yahi bhancha, and congratulations one more time to Muktinath Vikas Bank CEO sir Pradhiman sir on stage to receive the awards on behalf of Muktinath Vikas Bank, Best Managed Development Bank of 2025. So group photo euta खिचौँ कि भन्ने कुरा आयो. So every set of awards, when you want to get back from the stage, let's make sure to take a group picture in a very, very good way and a balanced way. Congratulations one more time to Muktinath Vikas Bank. A fifth set of awards, Best Managed Bank in Digital Financial Services 2025. And for to do the honors, may I call upon on stage Mr. Rajendra Malla, IPP of Nepal Chamber of Commerce, CA Mr. Sunir Kumar Thungel, Chairman of Accounting Standards Board Nepal, and advisor, CA Mr. Analraj Patarai, CEO of NRN Nepal Development Fund Limited, and also the jury member. And we don't have nominations for this particular category. Best Managed Bank in Digital Financial Services 2025. And the winner is
Okay, any guests from the audience? Okay, the Best Bank in Digital Financial Services award goes to Global IME Bank. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Global IME Bank for bagging Best Managed Bank in Digital Financial Services 2025. Let's watch the video.
पोखरा Thank you. अब आरामसँग book your flight anytime with Global Smart Plus.
Global IME Bank, सबैका लागि बैंक.
Global IME Bank, सबैका लागि बैंक. Congratulations, धेरै धेरै बधाई. One more time, Best Managed Bank in Digital Financial Services 2025. Sir, on the mark, please. Congratulations one more time to Global IME Bank Limited, सबैका लागि bank. Congratulations and thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Our next category is Best Managed Commercial Bank of 2025. We're now moving towards Commercial Bank. And to do the honors, may I call upon on stage Mr. Guru Prasad Paudel, Executive Director of Nepal Rashtra Bank, Advisor of the initiative, CA Mr. Sudarshan Raj Pandey, Partner and Senior Partner at SR Pandey & Co. Also the jury chair of this category, Mr. Bhola Thapa, President of President Group of Companies. I'd like to welcome three very good-looking, at the same time very influential gentlemen on stage to do the honors. And we're also looking at the award criteria for this particular category. And the nominations reads Everest Bank Limited, Sanima Bank Limited, and Standard Chartered Bank Limited among three. Let's hear who bags the title of Best Managed Commercial Bank of 2025.
I'm sure there's no guess, but the best managed commercial bank of the year is Everest Bank Limited. Congratulations.
Best Managed Commercial Bank of 2025, Everest Bank Limited. Let's watch the video. And may I invite the...
पारस्परिक साथ, सहयोग र दृढ विश्वासको 3 दशक भन्दा लामो हाम्रो सहयात्रा. तपाईका हरेक सपना साकार पार्न तत्पर हाम्रो दरिलो साथ. बृहत सञ्जाल र सेवाको विविधताले पल पलमा तपाईको विश्वास जित्दै, तपाईको सफलताको अभिन्न अङ्ग बन्दै हामी एभरेस्ट बैंक, दिगो दरिलो र विश्वासिलो.
Digo, Darilo, Vishwasilo. May I invite the CEO of the bank? May I also invite the chairman of the bank on the stage together? Looks good to receive the award with the CEO and chairman of Everest Bank Limited, Best Managed Commercial Bank of 2025. धेरै धेरै बधाई, Everest Bank. So we have collaborative receivers here. The stage actually feels very heavy with the presence of such heavy personalities. I feel so safe and secure and strong at the same time. Thank you very much and congratulations to Everest Bank Limited one more time for Best Managed Commercial Bank of 2025. Thank you. And time for some TVC. One more time. TVC time, everybody.
Asian Paints presents 9th NewBiz Conclave and Business Excellence Awards 2025. Theme: Driving Growth Through Reforms. Awards in 10 different categories. Driven by Curve EV, Life Insurance Partner, Asian Life Insurance Company Limited, Private Equity Partner, NIMB Ace Capital Limited, Banking Partner, Global IME Bank Limited, supported by NLG Insurance Company Limited, Green Valley Resort, Shubhapuri, Rashtriya Banijya Bank Limited, Assurance Incorporation Management Service Private Limited, PhonePe Payment Service Limited, Deposit and Credit Guarantee Fund, Nepal Airlines Corporation, King's College, Architecting Future,
Godavari Steels,
Internet Partner, Subisu, event managed by Vogue Ad and Event Management.
मैले सब मापदण्ड पूरा गरी गजबको घर बनाए, तर एकदम पछि मात्र थाहा पाएँ मैले त आफ्नो घर इन्कम्प्लिट नै छाडेछु। तर मसँग अब एशियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम प्रुफ छ, जसले मेरा यी सब समस्या समाधान गरी मेरो इन्कम्प्लिट घरलाई कम्प्लिट गर्छ। त्यसैले चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एशियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्।
TV.
पोखरा। Thank you. अब आरामसँग book your flight anytime with Global Smart Plus.
ग्लोबल आइमी बैंक, सबैका लागि बैंक।
के तपाई बैंकमा राखिएको पैसा सुरक्षित नहोला भनेर चिन्तित हुनुभएको छ?
हो त।
चिन्तित हुनु पर्दैन। 5 लाखसम्म निक्षेप ग्यारेन्टी छ नि।
अनि 5 लाख भन्दा बढीको चाहिँ?
एउटामा मात्र होइन, सबै बैंक तथा वित्तीय संस्थाहरूमा 5-5 लाखसम्मका दरले बाँडेर पैसा राखे भइगयो त।
ओहो, गजब रहेछ त।
हैन के भो?
टिभी हेर न, टिभी।
निक्षेप तथा कर्जा सुरक्षण कोषले नेपाल राष्ट्र बैंकबाट मान्यता प्राप्त बैंक तथा वित्तीय संस्थाहरूमा गरिएको 5 लाखसम्मको निक्षेप सुरक्षाको ग्यारेन्टी गर्दछ। ढुक्क हुनुहोस्, सुरक्षित बचत गर्नुहोस्। निक्षेप तथा कर्जा सुरक्षण कोष, ऋण र धन दुवैको सुरक्षण।
Warm services to delight your senses, taking hospitality to newer heights. Nepal Airlines.
Our youths, they are struggling for opportunities. Our cities, they are grappling with pollution. Our villages, they are echoing in loneliness. What would it be like if our youths could carve opportunities for others and themselves? When the learners get immersed into the problem-solving process, gain hands-on experience and valuable skills to design solutions for a better tomorrow. When the learners and industries come together for a shared learning experience to resolve the real-world problems, the real learning happens when learners are actively engaged in solving a real problem.
King's College, Architecting Future.
Now let's express our gratitude to the dedicated jury members who have contributed their time, effort and expertise to the selection process. Their efforts have been instrumental in identifying the best corporate achievers in various categories. Now, to acknowledge them with the token of appreciation, may I call upon Mr. Keshav Gautam, the Director of New Business Asia, on stage, please. I now respectfully would like to call upon the names of our respected jury members. Jury of Best Managed Insurance Companies, may I invite Mr. Sashi Satyal, Mr. Shriman Karki, and Mr. Sunil Casey on stage, please, to receive the token of appreciation on behalf of New Business Asia. We have the director here with us, Mr. Keshav Gautam. And we would be taking a group picture afterwards, so I request you to be on the stage along with your token of appreciations for a while, because we're doing a mega group picture together. Thank you very much. Please allow me in welcoming our other jury members as well. Jury of Best Managed Commercial Bank, Development Bank and Finance Company, Mr. Guru Prasad Paudel, Executive Director of Nepal Rashtra Bank and the advisor as well on the stage. May I also invite CA Mr. Sunir Kumar Dhungel, CA, Chairman of Accounting Standards Board of Nepal. I kindly request everyone to be on the stage for a while. I also would like to welcome CA Mr. Sudarshan Raj Pandey, partner, senior partner of SR Pandey & Co. He is the jury chair. Mr. Ramesh Kumar Hamal, former chairman of CBON, jury member. CA Mr. Sushan Kumar Kafle, IPP of ICANN, another jury member. I also would like to invite CA Mr. Anil Raj Bhattarai, CEO of NRN Nepal Development Fund Limited, another jury member. Now, Jury of Best Managed Company, Mr. Mahesh Thapa, Mr. Krishna Hari Baskota, and Mr. Gyanendra Prasad Dhungana. I just found out that Mr. Gyanendra Prasad Dhungana has just arrived, so I may request three of the gentlemen to be on stage. Mr. Gyanendra Prasad Dhungana, former CEO of Nabil Bank and a proud jury member. Jury members of Lifetime Achievement Award, Mr. Birendra Raj Pandey, Senior Vice President of CNI. Mr. Chandra Prasad Dhakal, President of FNCCI. Mr. Kamalesh Kumar Agrawal, President of Nepal Chamber of Commerce. May I request our gentlemen to scatter themselves on the stage? It's a huge stage. It's a huge, huge stage. We still have we still need to give away token of appreciation to two of our jury members on stage. Keshav sir. अब बल्ल मिल्यो हजुर अब ठुलो फोटो खिचौँ सँगै Let's click a group picture together. Thank you very much, our very important jury members. Now, may I request Mr. Sudarshan Raj Pandeyji to speak representing all the jury members on how you felt while doing the judgments.
Thank you, Sugarika. सबभन्दा पहिले त अभियान टिमलाई म हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु यो अवसर दिनुभएकोमा यो जज बन्नलाई सजिलो चाहिँ रहेन रहेछ एक्सपेक्टेसन सबैले आफूलाई राम्रो छ भन्ने लाग्दो रहेछ तर दोस्रो तेस्रो व्यक्तिले हेर्दाखेरि अनि बल्ल रियालिटीमा थाहा हुन्छ त्यसैले जजिङ समवन इज रियली भेरी भेरी डिफिकल्ट र इन्डिपेन्डेन्स मेन्टेन गर्न अझ ठुलो रिस्क रहँदो रहेछ मलाई अभियान टिम र सम्पूर्ण सहभागीहरूबाट जुन किसिमको इन्डिपेन्डेन्स एस्योर भयो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हाम्रो टिमले यो जजमेन्ट गर्नलाई चाहिँ अलिकति हौसला प्राप्त भएको छ जजमेन्ट भन्दाखेरि अब सर्टेन क्राइटेरियामा गर्नुपर्ने अवस्था हुन्छ सो डोन्ट टेक इट द्याट देयर इज द ओन्ली वान कम्पनी हु इज द बेस्ट समथिङ लाइक द्याट बिकज कोही न कोही त एउटा त नम्बर वान भन्ने किसिमबाट आउनुपर्ने भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि वी आर कम्पेयर टु सेलेक्ट सम कम्पनी बट देयर आर लट अफ कम्पनी हु आर इक्वेटली कम्पिटेन्ट इनफ तर जजमेन्ट गर्ने बेला सन्दर्भमा हामीले अलिकति क्राइटेरियाहरूलाई चाहिँ अलिकति ट्रान्सपेरेन्सी रूपले मेन्टेन गर्ने प्रयास चाहिँ डेफिनेटली गरेको थियौँ वी स्टार्टेड दिस जर्नी फ्रम 2013 onward. I am somewhat being privileged that I am involved in that process from the beginning itself till date. Couple of years we could not do the activity because of technical reason and all, but throughout the years we've been here and trying to do our level best. We're getting a lot of effort, support from our members also and our participants also, and we really encourage our participants to give our feedback so that we keep on increasing our judgmental parameters. हामीले अहिले जजमेन्ट गर्दाखेरि ओभर 10 years 1 दर्जनभन्दा बढीका फाइनेन्सियल क्राइटेरियाहरू पनि राखेका थियौँ भने केही नन फाइनेन्सियल क्राइटेरियाहरू पनि राखेका थियौँ त्यो नन फाइनेन्सियल क्राइटेरियाको सन्दर्भमा गर्दाखेरि मार्केटमा उसको ओभरअल प्रेजेन्स गभर्नेन्सदेखि लिएर रेगुलेटरी पर्सपेक्टिभहरूलाई पनि यसलाई फोकसिङ गरेको थियौँ हामी यो डिसिजन गर्ने सन्दर्भमा पनि एमङ द मेम्बर्सहरू पनि सर्टेन रेगुलेटरी पर्सपेक्टहरू चाहिँ अलिकति स्ट्रिन्जेन्ट भयो भनेर कुरा नगरेको पनि होइन particularly in front of Guruji, we have talked to him to ask him that some of the regulatory perspectives are quite stringent and may not be practical for implementation. But so long the regulatory perspective is still there, we must honor that perspective because the regulator, unless they change the parameter, we cannot compromise with that parameter. So ती parameterहरूको कारणले गर्दाखेरि पनि हामीले अगाडि बढेको छौँ र आगामी दिनहरूमा यसलाई इम्प्रुभ गर्नलाई तपाईहरुले पक्कै पनि सहयोग गर्नुहुन्छ होला र मैले लास्टमा के पनि भन्न चाहन्छु भने हामीले गरेका यो प्यारामिटर यो जजमेन्टहरू पर्फेक्ट छन् भनेर त डेफिनेटली हामी भन्न सक्दैनौँ बट वी ट्राई टु मेन्टेन द बेस्ट पोसिबल इन्डिपेन्डेन्स एन्ड द बेस्ट फिजिबल अप्सन्स वी ह्याभ थ्याङ्क यू सो मच एन्ड कङ्ग्रेचुलेसन टु द अल विनर्स अफ दिस अवार्ड विनिङ प्रोग्राम थ्याङ्क यू सो मच
Thank you very much, Sudarshan sir, jury chair for the Excellence Award ceremony. We're now moving towards a sixth set of award, Best Managed Companies 2025, Special Recognition for Public Enterprise. Let us start with the picture of jury members. Yes. And the award criteria for Best Managed Company, Special Recognition for Public Enterprise. Now, to announce the name of the winners and to give away the winning trophy and certificate to the winners, may I request to be on stage Mr. Ramesh Sharma, Chairman of Sharma and Company, Mr. Gyanendra Prasad Dhungana, former CEO of Nabil Bank, also the jury member, Mr. Neeraj Subedi, CEO of Himalayan Distillery Limited. All right. So we have the winner. The name of the winner is inside the envelope. So the gentleman may decide who to announce.
Hi, good evening. The special recognition for public enterprise award goes to Salt Trading Corporation Limited. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Salt Trading Corporation Limited for a special recognition for public enterprise. Now, before we move towards the award moment, we have a video.
हो तपाईं पनि अब ढुक्क हुनुहोस् किनकि हामीले दैनिक जसो सेवन गर्ने नुनमा सही मात्रामा आयोडिन मिसाइएको छ जसबाट गर्भमा रहेका शिशु गर्भवती एवं सुत्केरी महिला हुर्कदो उमेरका बालबालिका किशोर किशोरी युवा वयस्कदेखि ज्येष्ठ नागरिकसम्मले दैनिक सेवन गर्नुपर्ने पोषक तत्व आयोडिन प्राप्त हुन्छ।
आयो नुन खाऊं स्वस्थ रहूं।
आयो नुन खाऊं स्वस्थ बनौं। Salt Trading Corporation Limited. May I invite the dignitary from the Salt Trading Corporation Limited to receive the award for the special recognition for public enterprise. Congratulations one more time to Salt Trading Corporation Limited, Special Recognition for Public Enterprise 2025. A perfect group picture together. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It was great having you on stage. Thank you. Now, before I move towards another category, let's have a look at the sponsors, TVC.
यो डाक्टर नवीन को सधैँ नयाँ चमकदार देखिने घर जसको सबै छिमेकीले गुनासो मात्रै गर्छ कसैको नयाँ घर हेरेर घाँटी बाङ्गिएको गुनासो सबै हैरान आए लिएर गुनासोको चाम
छोरा जन्मिदा घरमा एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन लगाएको त्यति नै हो।
एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
छोरीको यही महिना ग्रेजुएसन रे कलेजको बाँकी रकम सबै तिर्नु पर्छ रे।
आफन्त छँदै छ नि।
को आफन्तलाई पैसा दिनु भएको छ भन्नुस् त?
आज घरमा आउँदैछ तिमीले भेटिहाल्छौ नि।
सर म्याम तपाईहरुलाई बधाई छ। तपाईकी छोरी कविताको अन्तिम बीमा रकम भुक्तानी तपाईको बैंक खातामा जम्मा भइसकेको छ।
चिन्यौ त हाम्रो आफन्तलाई?
केही सम्बन्ध यति खास हुन्छ जो आफन्त भन्दा बढी आफ्नो हुन्छ। Asian Life Insurance.
The goal of every equity investment is clear: to grow and protect your assets under management. At Assurance Incorporation, we make these decisions thoughtfully and offline, with focused purpose, precise strategy, and unwavering commitment. A great research generates higher returns. Buy at intrinsic value. Exit on fundamental realization. Be the partner. Be the part of growth. The ambition is to become NASA of assets management. Invest anytime.
Founded in 2015 under the Godavari Business Organization, Godavari Steels Limited stands proud in Chandrapur, Rothat. Born from decades of industrial trading experience, the company began as a TMT and plain steel bar rolling mill powered by a cutting-edge induction furnace and continuous casting technology. Committed to excellence, all products comply with Nepal standards, NS 191, and ISO certified company supported by stringent quality control measures. Fueling Nepal's infrastructure, Godavari Steels delivers trusted steel solutions built on quality, capacity, and commitment.
Isn't it amazing when the internet just works? For binge watcher to binge shoppers. For the dancing shoes to midnight truce. Speed the juice. For the weird poses and funny noses. Baking spaces to messy faces. We are Subisu Internet. Subisu, gig fiber, exceeding expectation.
Welcome back after the TVC screening. We have 3 more categories left, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving towards our 8th category, which is Best Managed IT Company of 2025. May I invite Mr. Rajan Babu Shrestha, CEO of Sipradi Trading, on the stage. He would be joined by Professor Dr. Achyut Wagle, Vice Chair of Kathmandu University, along with Mrs. Deepa Dahal, Deputy Executive Director of CBON. We have 3 wonderful human beings on stage to announce the winner of this category and to give away the award to the Best Managed IT Company 2025. Deepa ma'am, can I have you on stage, please? Since Rajan sir is not present here, so both of these wonderful personalities on stage are announcing the winner of Best Managed IT Company 2025.
Okay, and the company that bagged it is so proud. It's eSeva.
Congratulations, eSeva Best Managed IT Company 2025. I just did my last transaction through eSeva. So eSeva is here to rule, already ruled this year as Best Managed IT Company 2025. Congratulations to eSeva. Can we have the winning trophy on stage, please? Beautifully done on stage. Thank you very much, everybody, and congratulations, eSeva, one more time. Our 9th category, Best Managed Company of the Year 2024. Now, to know who the Best Managed Company of the Year 2024 happens to be, all right. May I call on stage the General Manager of Asian Paints Nepal, Mr. Abhiman Bararia, on stage. He would be joined by Mr. Bikas Devkota, Secretary of Ministry of Health, Government of Nepal. I think he's left already. Is he around? Oh, he's here. I thought you left, sir, already. I need to check my eyes. Would be joined by the CEO of Norvik Hospital, Ajay Mishra, sir, on stage. Best Managed Company of the Year 2024. On stage, we have the General Manager of Asian Paints Nepal, Mr. Aviman Sir. We have the presence of Mr. Bikas Devkota, Secretary of Ministry of Health, Government of Nepal. And we do have the presence of the CEO of Norvik Hospital, Ajay Sir. Let's do the honors, sir.
And the Best Managed Company of the Year, the award goes to Nepal Pharmaceuticals Laboratory Private Limited. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Nepal Pharmaceutical Laboratory Private Limited, Birganj, for bagging the title of Best Managed Company of the Year 2024. Here we watch the video first. Congratulations to Nepal Pharmaceuticals Laboratory Private Limited, Birganj, for being the Best Managed Company of the Year 2024. No wonder award presenters are Dr. Bikas Devkota, the Secretary of Ministry of Health, Government of Nepal himself, along with the CEO of Norvik Hospital and the General Manager of our main sponsor, Asian Paints Nepal, Mr. Abhiman Bararia. Congratulations one more time, and thank you very much. And on behalf of all the winners, Nepal Pharmaceuticals Laboratory Private Limited, Birganj, is about to speak few words. No? Okay. We'd like to congratulate one more time. So 9 categories done and dusted. We just have 1 category left to announce, which is the most awaiting category of the year for all of us. Before that, we're moving towards the token of love distribution to our wonderful sponsors. May I call upon Ms. Sabita Subedi, Director of New Business Age, on stage to give away the token of love to our wonderful sponsors. We're starting with our main sponsor, Asian Paints, the representative of Asian Paint. One more time, we have our General Manager here. Why not from the General Manager himself? Thank you very much. Sabita ma'am, can you please move further towards the spot? Thank you. Tiago EV Sipradi, the representative of Tiago EV Sipradi. I'm announcing the names of our sponsors. Kindly make yourself available on the stage. Tiago EV Sipradi, Global IMA Bank, Asian Life Insurance, NIMB Ace Capital, Thank you, sir. So after NIB's capital, let me welcome Rashtriya Banditya Bank. A representative from Rashtriya Banditya Bank, representative from Deposit and Credit Guarantee Fund, Assurance Incorporation, Green Valley Resort, NLG Insurance, PhonePe, another sponsor, PhonePe, Nepal Airlines, King's College, may we have the representatives of PhonePe, Nepal Airlines and King's College on stage, please. Another sponsor, Subisu, Jawlak Hill Group of Industries, and this event has been perfectly managed by Vogue Ad and Events. The man behind manage the event, Pravadai, is on stage. Thank you very much. I'm also inviting Jawlak Hill Group of Industries on stage to receive the token of appreciation on behalf of the sponsors. All right, so I think it's time for the group picture, the mega group picture one more time. I've requested all the sponsors to join on stage. However, a few of them are not available, or maybe they're already having a good time with Jawlak Hill Group of Industries. Good moment outside. Pravada, I think you need to choreograph this picture. Thank you very much one more time to all our sponsors. May we see collaborating with the organization and the initiative next year as well. Well, the 10th category and the most awaiting moment for all of us, may I request everyone to be seated. This category is pretty special to a lot of us. So this is the last set of awards for this year, 2025, Business Excellence Award 2025, which is Lifetime Achievement in Business Leadership. So first, let's have a look at the jury members of this category. Jury members of Lifetime Achievement in Business Leadership 2025. Let's also have a look at the award criteria. Lifetime Achievement in Business Leadership 2025. To do the honors, may I call upon Professor Dr. Shivaraj Adhikari, Vice Chair of National Planning Commission, on stage He would be joined by Birendra Raj Pandey, Senior VP of CNI and a jury member, along with Mr. Kamalesh Kumar Agrawal, President of Nepal Chamber of Commerce, jury member, joined by NBA Chairman Mr. Madan Lamsal. Lifetime Achievement in Business Leadership 2025, and the recipient is
Okay, Lifetime Achievement Awards in Business Leadership goes to Babulal Chachan. Congratulations. Very good.
Congratulations to respected Mr. Babulal Chachan for receiving Lifetime Achievement in Business Leadership. Here goes the video.
नेपालको औद्योगिक इतिहासमा केही यस्ता व्यक्तित्व छन् जसले आफ्नो कर्म, दृष्टि र नेतृत्वबाट पुस्तौँलाई मार्गदर्शन दिएका छन्। बाबुलाल चाचान यस्तै एउटा नाम हो, एक प्रेरणादायी उद्यमी, दूरदर्शी नेतृत्वकर्ता र चाचान समूहका अध्यक्ष। विक्रम सम्वत 1993 मा वीरगञ्जमा जन्मिएका चाचानले 2009 सालमा त्रिजुद्ध माविबाट एसएलसीमा बोर्ड फर्स्ट गरे। सपना थियो इन्जिनियर बन्ने, त्यसैका लागि भारतको पटना पुगे। तर पिताको चाहना थियो छोरो व्यापारमै लागोस्। इन्जिनियरिङ कलेजले भर्नाका लागि बोलाएको पत्र पिता महावीर प्रसादले नदिएपछि बाबुलाल चाचानको यात्रा मोडियो पुस्तौनी कपडाको व्यापारतर्फ, र यही बाटोबाट उनले बनाए नेपालकै एक प्रभावशाली औद्योगिक समूह चाचान समूह। आज यो समूह सिमेन्टदेखि खाद्यान्न, बैंकदेखि बिमा, चामलदेखि छालासम्म 15 अर्ब रुपियाँ भन्दा बढी वार्षिक कारोबार गर्ने स्थापित घराना बनेको छ। 2014-15 तिर व्यापारिक जिम्मेवारी कानमा आइपुगेका बाबुलालजीले त्यस बेला कपडाबाट सुरु भएको व्यापारलाई अनेक आयाममा विस्तार गरे। वीरगञ्ज र नेपालगञ्जमा सिमेन्ट उद्योग, खाद्यान्न, तेल, मसला, छाला र बोरा उद्योग यिनै उनको दृढ इच्छा शक्ति र नेतृत्वका नतिजा हुन्। छाला निर्यातको सिलसिलामा भारतको कोलकातासम्म पुग्दा उनले महसुस गरे सुक्खा बन्दरगाहको आवश्यकता। वीरगञ्ज उद्योग वाणिज्य सङ्घको अध्यक्ष रहँदा उनले 2052 देखि 2058 सम्म सुक्खा बन्दरगाहको अवधारणा कार्यान्वयनमा संस्थागत भूमिका खेले। 2054 मा लागू भएको मूल्य अभिवृद्धि कर भ्याटको थ्रेसहोल्ड बढाउन उनको नेतृत्व निर्णायक बन्यो। व्यापारीका आवाज राख्ने निस्पृही साहस उनमा थियो। बाबुलाल चाचानले सुरु गरेको यो यात्रा नयाँ पुस्तासम्म आइपुगेको छ। उनका छोरा र नातिहरू पनि विभिन्न उद्यमिक मोर्चामा अग्रसर छन्। सपना अर्को थियो, बाटो अर्को बन्यो, तर बाटोले अर्थ दियो, देशलाई उद्योग दियो। साहस र योगदानका प्रतीक बाबुलाल चाचानलाई न्यू बिज लाइफटाइम अचिभमेन्ट इन बिजनेस लिडरशिप अवार्ड 2025 मार्फत हाम्रो सच्चा सम्मान।
New Biz Lifetime Achievement in Business Leadership 2025, Babulal Chachan sir, उहाँको नाति हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ। We have on behalf of Mr. Babulal Chachan, his grandson Mr. Susan Chachan is on the stage to receive the award on his behalf. Congratulations to the Chachan legacy. Oh, this actually is special. I'm reading away the content of the plaque. I just hope my eyesight works well while reading this. Asian Paint presents 9th NewBiz Conclave in Business Excellence Award 2025. NewBiz Lifetime Achievement in Business Leadership Award 2025 presented to Mr. Babulal Chachan in recognition of his remarkable journey from a modest family enterprise to building one of Nepal's leading business groups, for his enduring contributions to entrepreneurship marked by vision, resilience, and innovation, and for inspiring generations while strengthening trust and credibility in the Nepali business community. The jury is proud to confer upon Mr. Babulal Chachan the NewBiz Lifetime Achievement in Business Leadership Award 2025. Presented on 26 June 2025 AD, 12th Asar 2082 BS at a special ceremony held in Kathmandu. Chandra Prasad Dhakal, President FNCCI, Kamalesh Kumar Agrawal, President Nepal Chamber of Commerce, Birendra Raj Pandey, Senior VP CNI, Madan Lamsal, Chairman, New Businesses Limited, 26 June 2025. Congratulations one more time to respected Babulal Chachan sir for creating the legacy of entrepreneurs and the leadership. On stage we have Babulal Chachan's grandson, Sushant Chachanji. Congratulations and thank you very much one more time. Can we have chairs on the stage for the group picture? Now may I invite all our wonderful award winners of this evening on stage, all together holding the trophies, I guess, together. All our award winners, our jury members. The first set of photo shoot will be with our award winners and our jury members. Second set of photo session will be with all our sponsors. And third set of photo shoot will be with our distinguished speakers. And the fourth set of photo session will be all staff members of New Business Ish will join at last. So Raju, we're still waiting for you on stage. A chair is left for you. One more chair is left. We're still looking for another award winner here. We done? A happy group picture. Meanwhile, may I request our sponsors to get ready to come on stage for the group picture, all our wonderful sponsors. Our sponsors, All right. New businesses, family members, can I have you on stage? New businesses, family members on stage, please. The new businesses ko sabai sathihharu aunu paryo. Everyone who poured their sweat and effort into making this event a huge success.